Family Cultivation. I can improve my magic weapon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 226, Capturing the Witch. Black Phoenix Bracelet. Watching Taoist Hu go west. Chen Qingyun collected his thoughts and picked up the array plate on the ground. After looking at it for a few times, he tried to activate it, but found that there were still residual thoughts of the demon cultivator on it. It couldn't be activated for a while. At the same time, without the maintenance of mana and human control, the entire Bailing Zhangxian formation became chaotic and swayed. Boom. Two sky thunder seeds exploded, and a loud rumble broke out. The entire Bailing Zhangxian formation disintegrated and shattered, and the magic formation lost its effect. The formation was broken. Sun Tai took the lead and soared into the air from a distance, and the voice came from his mouth. Deu, Lu, see you later. As soon as the voice fell, Sun Tai turned into a stream of light and quickly went away. Worried that if he stayed for a while longer, Chen Qingyun would regret it and kill him. Chen Qingyun had no intention of chasing him and let Sun Tai leave. This person is bent on seeking revenge on Nangong Yuang. His obsession is too deep. If they really fight to the death, it will not be a problem to kill him, but he will definitely suffer some losses. Ling Sai is still watching from the side. It is not worth it to fight to the death with Sun Tai. Brother, Lu. As Sun Tai left, Ling Sai was left alone. The woman smiled and retreated to the back secretly. The bracelet talisman in her hand was exposed without any cover. This is her greatest confidence. Both of them have talismans, and they are afraid of each other. But from Chen Qingyun's point of view, what is the point of keeping Ling Sai, a demon cultivator? Should he wait for the other party to make the first move? Directly mobilizing the power of a divine sea blue lotus platform, Chen Qingyun activated the Demon Refining Tower and took the lead in launching an attack. Having witnessed the divine power of the Demon Refining Tower, which can restrain demon cultivators, Ling Sai did not hesitate to activate the talisman. A strong and deep black light emerged from the jade bracelet. In a flash, a black phoenix condensed and towered behind Ling Sai. It was strange, dark, huge, and imposing. It looked similar to the phoenix in mythology, but it had two completely different auras. This was a fallen black phoenix. Seeing Ling Sai activate the talisman, Chen Qingyun frowned and activated the purple spirit robe again to cover his body. Facing a treasure like the talisman, he thought he had no resistance at all. Even if all the defensive magic weapons on his body were activated, it would not be able to stop it. Just as he hid his body and escaped from the breath, an unexpected scene appeared. The fallen demon phoenix towering over Ling Sai did not launch an attack. Instead, it spread its wings and closed the distance with Ling Sai. The two of them stuck together like a magnet. Then, under Chen Qingyun's nervous gaze, Ling Sai smiled and looked a little provocative. It seemed like she wanted to use the charm again. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun was a little uncertain whether this demon girl could see through the concealing effect of the purple spirit robe. So, he subconsciously urged the moon sun orb and stayed where he was. Suddenly, there was a whoosh. The fallen demon phoenix flapped its wings and took Ling Sai into the air quickly. The direction it was heading was not towards Chen Qingyun, but the opposite. You want to escape? Seeing this, Chen Qingyun narrowed his eyes and continued to use the purple spirit robe to launch the 5 elements sky escape. To extreme speeds, one in front and one behind. Ling Sai had very little mana left, and she fled without looking back, relying entirely on the power of the talisman. Chen Qingyun chased with the 5 elements sky escape, and in an instant he caught up with Ling Sai. He was merciless, holding the 1000-star demon slayer sword in his hand, and slashed fiercely at the demon girl's neck. With the keen perception trained by life in death battles, Ling Sai's expression changed drastically when she noticed the killing intent coming from behind. Shocked that Chen Qingyun had such strength, she quickly urged the fallen demon phoenix to dodge. With a flash, she turned into a black stream of light and flew away, and in the blink of an eye, she fled hundreds of feet away. With a sword slashing into the air, Chen Qingyun made a prompt decision and continued to use the 5-element sky escape to chase him. However, this time, Ling Zai was already in shock. Not to mention pausing, she didn't even bother to turn her head back, and didn't even have the chance to breathe or speak, and fled desperately. Relying on the speed of the 5-element sky escape, Chen Qingyun approached Ling Zai's side again without any big moves. The 1000-star Demon Slayer sword was straightforward and slashed out at such a high speed, trying to kill Ling Zai in the void. Ling Zai was extremely panicked, and felt Chen Qingyun's overwhelming killing intent. She was so decisive that she finally stopped retaining any mana and injected it into the Black Phoenix bracelet at full speed. Relying on the power of the talisman, she fled at full speed again, this time 40% faster. Chen Qingyun said nothing. He didn't expect that Ling Zai's ability to escape was not bad at all, far beyond his expectations. The third time he used the 5-element sky escape, Chen Qingyun did not swing the 1000-star Demon Slayer sword again, but stretched out his hand and grabbed it fiercely, trying to catch Ling Zai in his hand. Swish. A subtle sound of tearing cloth was heard. Chen Qingyun only felt a silky smoothness in his hand, and it seemed that something was torn off with a fierce grab. Ah! Then, there was a scream of shame and anger. When he took a quick glance, he saw the graceful body in front of him. Ling Zai was like crazy. The whole person was split into 6 in an instant, turning into 6 Ling Zai, fleeing to 6 different distances. Under the blessing of the power of such a talisman, and the use of the magic escape technique, her 6 figures were difficult to distinguish between the real and the fake. The speed was far beyond that of the Purple Mansion cultivators, and only a coquettish voice came from all directions. "Brother, Lu, I will remember you this time." When, running away, Ling Zai was so ashamed and angry that in the blink of an eye, the 6 figures turned into a small black dot and disappeared at the same time 10,000 meters away. The clone escape method. Chen Qingyun, who was originally ready to chase again and prepare for a long battle, looked condensed. I didn't expect the other party to activate the talisman so resolutely, not to attack, but now to continue to escape in a different way. This is really not playing by the rules. At this time, I want to chase, but I can't tell which figure is the real loner for a while. Chen Qingyun frowned, and finally slowly relaxed. After weighing it for a few seconds, he was too lazy to chase. His eyes fell on his hands, and when the faint fragrance was diffused, he saw a broken dress in his hand. After picking up the storage bag and magic weapon of Taoist Tuatu and using the firebomb technique to clean up the traces here, Chen Qingyun fumbled around and found 4 formation flags. Because of the lack of mana to maintain it, the light on the formation flags had long been dim, and the spiritual stones piled around to cover it were also revealed. The positions of the 4 formation flags, a total of more than 400 spiritual stones, are used to maintain the activation of the formation, so as to facilitate the subsequent activation with the formation disc. The spiritual energy on this island is not abundant, and it has not reached the level of the first level spiritual vein. Although, the Bailing Zhangxian formation is a magic formation, it is different from a magic weapon and will not affect the mind when used. Chen Qingyun directly removed the 4 formation flags and put them into the storage bag. In the future, this formation can still play a significant role in fighting against the enemy. As long as the magic formation is not used for indiscriminate killing, it can be used once or twice. After confirming that there was no more opportunity around, Chen Qingyun drove the Dunkong boat to leave quickly. Chapter 227 Qinglan Island. To prevent someone from following you secretly. Chen Qingyun did not return to Zhenhai Island immediately, but decided to stay in the Outer Star Sea for a while to count the loot. He launched the 5 Elements Heavenly Escape and quickly traveled 60,000 miles across the sea. Afterwards, Chen Qingyun became the imperial envoy and flew to Qinglan Island more than half an hour later. This is a small island adjacent to Leizu Island. There is a Xiuxianfang city named Yunanfang City on it. This city is under the jurisdiction of Kirigakure Island, and its prosperity is comparable to 2 or 3 Hefang cities, with more than 500 monks traveling through it. Compared to the monks in the Inner Star Sea, Because there are so many monsters in the Outer Star Sea, there are 4 major sects competing here, which often causes friction. This makes the monks here good at fighting monsters since they were young. They walked out of the greenhouse early and ran around to obtain cultivation resources. This gave rise to the fierce and straightforward character of the Outer Star Sea monks, and disciples of the 4 major sects can be seen everywhere. Chen Qingyun put on a disguise and made some inquiries in Yunnan City, and learned that this city is quite rich in resources. Not only are magic weapons, elixirs, formations, talismans, spiritual beasts, etc. included, there are also many practice caves for rent and sale. Generally speaking, living in a cave in Fangxi is the safest way to practice. First of all, there is no need to worry about the problem of insufficient spiritual energy. Every city is built on spiritual veins. Since then, most cities have established many rules, the most basic of which is that the use of force is prohibited within the city. The same is true for Yunnan City. Under the control of Kirigakure Island, even if the Zaifu monks cause trouble here, they will never tolerate it. Chen Qingyun doesn't have much intention to hang out here. Ling Sai's escape made him have to be careful that the demon girl would go back to bring reinforcements and bring many demon cultivators from the Phantom Island to surround and kill him. It's always right to be careful when sailing a ship that lasts forever. The most urgent task is to conquer Qianyu Binghuo first. The many gains from this trip to the cave also need to be carefully inventoried. Chen Qingyun made up his mind. On the same day, he found a store base called Fengrao Chamber of Commerce in Fangxi and spent 3 spiritual stones to rent a high-quality cave for 1 month. The cave is located on the spiritual vein of Fang City. The spiritual energy here is rich, reaching the 3rd level, and the surrounding environment is also extremely quiet. After arranging the upside-down 5 elements formation around the cave and strengthening the defense, Chen Qingyun lay down on the jade bed in the cave and took a good rest. Although he became the biggest winner during the treasure hunting trip in the cave. However, he was mentally tense along the way and could not relax for a moment. Coupled with the large consumption of mana, he felt physically and mentally exhausted at this time. With this cave as a cover, I can relax for a while and have a peaceful sleep. After releasing Mo Ling, feeding him 2 spirit-nourishing pills, and letting him move around in the cave, Chen Qingyun lay down and went to sleep. At the same time, more than 60,000 miles away from Qinglin Island, on the island that Chen Qingyun left 2 days ago, 2 figures came through the sky and turned the entire island upside down that day. Stop looking. I just said these people are very thieves. They left early. How could they stay here and wait for us to come to kill them? A man in black robe said, frowning tightly. Not to mention the presence of human beings on this island, not even the slightest trace of fighting was left, and it was completely cleaned up. There are no treasures left to capture. Then, is Zhuo Laodao playing a trick on us? The old man in black robe couldn't help but question. I can't see. Another, female casual cultivator with a graceful appearance in the late stage of foundation building spoke up. Before he died, he sent me a message and asked us to join forces to come for support. It seems that we have encountered a very difficult enemy. Of these 2 people, the old man was named Zhong Yingsu, and the woman was called Sun Sanyan. They were both friends of Zhuo Xiangwen. Those who cultivate immortality in the Outer Star Sea can be regarded as foundation-building monks with a small reputation. 2 days ago, after receiving Zhuo Xiangwen's message, the 2 of them hurriedly bought several second-level high-grade talismans in Yunnan City and rushed here in a flying boat. Just to try my luck and see if I can get some good stuff. However, Chen Qingyun did not give them this opportunity. Forget it. There is a witch of the Phantom Island, an inner disciple of Lingbao Mountain, a Taoist priest, and a powerful casual cultivator who calls himself Lu. Even though these 4 people consume a lot of manpower, they are still not soft persimmons. Zhuo Laodao is greedy and insists on hunting for treasure alone. You can't blame us for not saving him. As soon as Sun Sanyan finished speaking, Zhong Yingsu nodded thoughtfully and said with a hint of regret. This Zhuo Laodao prides himself on being shrewd, and he has indeed gained some fame in recent years. However, He is too greedy and insists on dying himself to fight with these people. We can't blame him for being killed here. Zhang Yingxu no longer stayed and called Sun Sanyan to evacuate. Let's go. There are both good and evil cultivators involved in this matter. It's not something that we casual cultivators can offend. It's better to ignore it and don't get involved. That's right. The two reached an agreement and left, turning into light and disappearing. After sleeping all day and night, when I woke up, it was noon outside. Chen Qingyun was full of energy. He glanced at Mo Ling, who was napping beside him, and without disturbing him, he began to take out the storage bag and count the gains from the trip to the cave. The first treasure obtained from Lin Kangong. Let's start with the elixir. 132 second level spiritual medicines. 49 third level spiritual medicines. These spiritual medicines are enough to match the spiritual medicine production capacity of a purple mansion family in 1 year. Many medicinal materials can be brought back to the family for planting to expand the spiritual medicine resources, and some can also be planted in the blessed land. There are 12 bottles of the sacred spring of all things. Each bottle is about the size of a bucket. The second is the jade fruit. Chen Qingyun took out a small condensed jade bottle, cut the fruit open, and squeezed out all the juice without wasting a drop. The remaining flesh still contains some spiritual charm, and it is eaten directly. The taste is a bit sweet, similar to the taste of lychee. Then there are 101 refining spirit flowers. After that, it is Lin Kangong's storage bag. The skills and magic tools in it have been checked before. There are 9 magic tools. 1 life magic weapon. 5 magic weapons. 3 second level top grade magic tools. There is no need to look at the magic weapons and life magic tools now, as they cannot be controlled for the time being. Chen Qingyun focused his attention on the 3 second level top grade magic tools. They are Qingguang Gourd, Red Dragon Flag, and Thunderbolt Fire Net. Qingguang Gourd contains Qingguang, and it is not an offensive and defensive magic tool. It can store many natural treasures, spiritual beasts, and creatures in the world on the basis of achieving the effect of a storage bag, and has a wide range of storage. It can meet the many storage needs of the cultivators who use it. The Red Dragon Flag. This flag contains a wisp of the soul of the Red Dragon, which maintains its spirituality and can rival the peak foundation building cultivators. It was refined when Lin Kangong was in the Purple Mansion period and killed a Red Dragon that was causing chaos. Thunderbolt Fire Net, as the name suggests, is an enemy binding, offensive magic tool that contains the power of thunder and fire. This net can be large or small, and the material is tough. It is difficult for cultivators below the Purple Mansion period to break free after being bound. Chapter 228 Ancient God Cult. These 3 magic tools are very good, which makes the types of magic tools in hand more abundant. In terms of spiritual stones, Lin Kangong almost spent all his spiritual stones to buy various natural treasures in order to heal his wounds. Even the remaining ones made Chen Qingyun feel that they were not small. There were as many as 60,000. This was a considerable income. In addition, the true solution of refining tools, classics, etc. were also valuable wealth. There were just these things in Lin Kangong's storage bag, not many but fine, not messy at all. Refining materials, medicinal materials, etc. were uniformly stored in the refining room and the alchemy room. As for other magic tools, although many of the magic tools harvested in the refining room were already in tatters due to their age, but there were still 92 magic tools with array patterns, ranging from a small number of first level top grade to second level top grade. By the way, there were also the dry ghost ice and fire silver crystal. The harvest was not small. Next. It is Nangong Ming's Fuhai ruler. Taoist Tuayu's storage bag. Zhuo Xiangwen's Red Lotus Immortal Sword. Since practicing, the only talisman that Chen Qingyun has come into contact with is the Broken Golden Sword talisman, and he has not yet owned a complete version of the talisman. This Fuhai ruler will definitely become the most powerful means of the bottom box, but it is not easy to show it in front of outsiders. After all, this thing comes from Nangong Ming. In Taoist Huayu's storage bag, There are 33,212 spiritual stones and 4 magic tools. 2 of them are magic tools, the blood-transforming black knife and the black wind banner. In addition, there are the pure jade whisk and the purple and green sword. The exercises are standard, all of which are Taoist exercises. As for the spiritual medicines picked in the cave, there are some of the All Things Divine Spring, the Refining God Flower, and the elixir. What Chen Qingyun was most concerned about was a magic skill called Blood Transforming Black Skill, which came from the ancient God sect and was the most widely spread magic skill in the sect. The magic cultivator of the ancient God sect. Now that he knew the origin of the magic cultivator who took over the body of Taoist master Hunyuan, Chen Qingyun searched his memory and did not know the origin of this magic force. It should belong to a hidden force. The blood-transforming black knife was a magic weapon refined by this skill. At the beginning, it was necessary to kill 10,000 mortals to collect blood essence to create a knife embryo. After that, it continued to grow by absorbing blood essence, and finally promoted to the level of magic weapon. Such a magic knife, falling into the hands of a giant stage magic cultivator, can be directly made into a life magic weapon, with power beyond the same level of magic weapons. As for the practice of this skill, just flipping through it casually for a while, you can see that there are many practice links in it, which require collecting the souls, blood essence, and resentment of the cultivators. The cruelty and killing level has reached a heinous level. The power brought by the skills is based on the massacre of mortals and cultivators. The refining of a black blood knife is stained with the blood of at least 10,000 mortals. The number of mortals slaughtered by practicing the black blood kung fu is countless. Even a demon cultivator of the ancient God sect is like this. Not to mention the thousands of disciples of the ancient God sect. The dangers of the world of immortal cultivation are far from as simple as they seem on the surface. While sighing, Chen Qingyun counted the storage bag and put away the second-level top-grade Red Lotus Immortal Sword. Then he put his mind on the Refining God Flower. The Refining God Flower has the effect of increasing the divine consciousness. There are a total of 126 plants. After refining them all, my divine consciousness should be able to rival the Purple Mansion stage cultivator. Muttering to himself, Chen Qingyun decided to start refining the Refining God Flower first, and then start to subdue Ganyu Bingyuo after the divine consciousness is improved. Time passed so quickly. On the first day, a total of 25 soul refining flowers were refined, and the divine consciousness was significantly improved, and 2 more magic tools could be controlled. The second day, the third day, and the process continued. On the evening of the 6th day, all the soul refining flowers were refined. Chen Qingyun's divine consciousness was so strong that he could control 32 magic tools at the same time and make 6 5-element puppets. Although it is still a little short of reaching the Purple Mansion stage, according to my current progress in practicing the Great Sun Visualization Sutra and Tangsu Soul Refining Technique, it can be achieved naturally. It will take no more than a year for me to break through this bottleneck. Chen Qingyun's eyes were full of brilliance. For the time being, I can't reach the level of controlling magic tools, so I'd better fuse 2 puppets first. Chen Qingyun's eyes flashed, and he started to make puppets. He made 6 puppets in turn, 2 of which were water puppets, and the other 4 were gold, wood, fire and earth puppets. After sorting out the magic tools and decomposing a large number of second-level magic tools, the strengthening points reached 5,230 points. Chen Qingyun took the lead in strengthening the 6 new puppets to the first level best. Then, it was the most anticipated fusion stage. The 10 5-element puppets quickly merged into 2 foundation building initial stage puppets. At this time, the strengthening points were smashed, and the 2 puppets were promoted to the second level best level in one fell swoop. The third and fourth puppets, let's call you 7 stars and 8 desolations. Chen Qingyun named the 2 new puppets. 5 elements, 6 combinations, 7 stars, 8 desolations. With 4 foundation building peak puppets by his side, unless the Purple Mansion cultivator took action, Chen Qingyun really couldn't do anything to him. and he would only be rewarded with treasures if he took the initiative to provoke them. As for the magic tools, there were so many strengthening points in hand, so there was nothing to hesitate about. Chen Qingyun strengthened the Golden Spirit Mother and Child Blades, Green Flame Sword, Purple Spirit Robe, Moon Sun Orb, Golden Crow Ring, Transparent Silk Thread, etc. to the second level best quality. Apart from a few first-class magic weapons, they can be given to Chen Qingyun and other clan members. The magic weapons used by Chen Qingyun have all reached the top level of the second level. Other foundation building monks have to save for several years before they can buy a second level top grade magic weapon. Chen Qingyun can reach this level if he takes out anyone at random. After the fusion, Chen Qingyun temporarily put away the remaining 8 puppet bodies. After a period of time, after the spiritual consciousness has recovered a little, it will not be too late to make a 5-element origin activation puppet. The 4 puppets of 5 elements, Lu, 7 stars, and 8 desolations were arranged around the cave to act as protectors. The next highlight was to conquer Qianyu Binghuo. In the notes left by Lin Kangong, there are methods to conquer this fire. You can use the real fire of the third level weapon refiner to adjust yourself and have the effect of resisting the temperature of Qianyu ice and fire, so as to conquer it. This is the method summed up by Lin Kangong himself. Third level weapon refiner, I'm still far away. Chen Qingyun smiled bitterly and shook his head. Fortunately, he does not have the real fire of refining weapons, but he has the inner fire of Qingyun. I read the notes carefully several times to make sure I had memorized the refining method clearly, and there was nothing to hesitate about. Before deciding to conquer Qianyu Binghuo, Chen Qingyun first tested that the cave restriction had been activated. The inverted 5-element formation is operating as a backup formation. The 5 elements and other 4 puppets all followed the order and guarded here. Chen Qingyun asked Moling to stay in the cave and not fly out randomly, and then he felt relieved and entered the fortune bead. Chapter 229, Conquer. After entering the blessed land bead, a chill hit me in the face, and the surrounding temperature was particularly cold. With the dry and dark ice and fire as the center, it expanded outward, extending pieces of snow-white frost. Near the center of the dry and dark ice and fire, several large trees had already frozen into ice sculptures, and the flowers, plants, stones, and dust on the ground were also the same. In such a temperature, even the foundation building cultivators could not stay close for a long time. Try to refine this dry and dark ice and fire as soon as possible. Expanding the body temperature of the Qingyun earth core fire, Chen Qingyun looked determined and began to refine the dry and dark ice and fire in the blessed land bead. Time flies, and more than 10 days have passed in a blink of an eye. Relying on the experience accumulated from conquering the Qingyun earth core fire. Then according to the notes left by Lin Kangong, Chen Qingyun slowly refined the dry and dark ice and fire. After it was completely refined. With a slight movement, a wisp of ice blue flame slowly burned in the palm of his hand, emitting a cold and icy air. This bone-chilling coldness will not cause any harm to Chen Qingyun. With just a thought, the flame can be transformed into various forms such as birds, flowers, and elephants at any time, and converted into attacks. Qingyun earth core fire, Ganyu ice fire, one hot and one cold, one yin and one yang, 2 completely opposite forces, each with its own power. If they are used on the opponent at the same time, what kind of attack damage will it bring? You will know after trying these later. As Ganyu ice fire was refined, sensing that his cultivation had reached a bottleneck, Chen Qingyun simply poured out 4 Tenglong pills, raised his head and took 2, and began to refine them at the same time. Even though the medicinal properties of Tenglong pills have lost 2 or 3% due to their age. But after refining 2 pills, after an hour, the true essence in Chen Qingyun's body has grown a little bit. Just a little bit more. Seeing that the breakthrough was imminent, Chen Qingyun calmed down and took the remaining 2 Tenglong pills. After refining for another hour or so, all the medicinal power was absorbed, and the true essence increased again. But there was still a distance to break through the bottleneck. Slowly exhaling a breath of turbid air, Chen Qingyun took out a jade scroll of the practice method from the storage bag. It was the Great Wilderness Devouring Demons. It was the first time I had seen such a strange practice method that improved cultivation by devouring the flesh and blood of monsters, monster pills, etc. He began to read, and after 2 incense sticks of time, Chen Qingyun's face showed a thoughtful look. This practice method is divided into the upper part, the middle part, and the lower part, each corresponding to 3 major realms, namely Qi refining, foundation building, and purple mansion. When practicing to the great perfection of the lower part, it is to condense the golden pill with the power of many monsters. The minimum requirement for practice is to start from the 3rd level of Qi refining. If the cultivation is too low, it is useless to swallow more monster pills. According to Chen Qingyun's current practice realm, he only needs to practice from the late stage of foundation building, that is, the middle part. According to records, this technique comes from the sea of 10,000 monsters. It continuously improves strength by hunting monsters. It takes the root of hostility with the monsters, which can be said to be tempered in life and death. Being able to continuously fight monsters, improve strength, and obtain resources, because of its great courage, it will have a great chance to practice to the golden core stage by itself, and does not need to follow the technique to assist. It is worth mentioning that practicing this technique, condensing the golden core with the power of 10,000 monsters, will be more powerful than the traditional golden core. But every technique in the world has its pros and cons, and it is impossible to be perfect. Even if it is a magic technique, it can be practiced through mortals as nutrients, which has the effect of quickly improving strength. But the side effects are also obvious. Magic attacks have a characteristic that will greatly affect the mind, become bloodthirsty and murderous, lose humanity, and become a monster that is neither human nor demon. This Great Wilderness Devouring Demon technique is used to condense the golden core. The side effect is that it consumes too many resources. A large amount of monster resources are needed to maintain practice. Ordinary cultivators and immortal families can't afford it at all. The second is to devour monsters to practice and advance. After a long time, the monsters will definitely be targeted and regarded as public enemies. It is still a long way to condense the golden elixir. For now, I will improve my strength with my body and reach the purple mansion stage as soon as possible. In the future, I will condense the golden elixir with the power of all monsters. There are so many monsters in the sea of monsters, and there is no shortage of practice resources. After understanding the pros and cons of the practice, Chen Qingyun began to practice according to the middle part. Initially circulate the true essence in his body, and slowly try to practice. After 1 cycle of operation. Since he did not swallow the monster pill, it was just an empty process. He still needs monster resources to maintain practice. He did not have these on him. If you want to practice this practice, you still have to go to the market to buy some monster resources to try. After finishing the work slowly, Chen Qingyun was full of energy and flew out of the blessed land. Chirp chirp chirp. As soon as he appeared, a black figure flew over excitedly, surrounding Chen Qingyun and calling happily, "Mo Ling." Chen Qingyun took Mo Ling and let it fall on his wrist. He took out a spiritual pill and fed it to him. Seeing the delicious food, Mo Ling excitedly flapped his wings, raised his head with the pill in his mouth, and swallowed it into his stomach. At this time, he carefully observed Mo Ling and found that the little guy's strength had reached the bottleneck of the early stage of foundation building and was moving towards the middle stage of foundation building. At the same time, the little guy's weight was much higher than before, and he had obviously grown taller. If he grows a few more times and weighs dozens of pounds more, someone's shoulders will be sore. Played with Mo Ling for a while. It was not until noon that Chen Qingyun took back the 5 elements and 4 puppets, sorted out the storage bag and left the cave. The streets of Yunnan Market were crowded with people coming and going. There were as many as 500 or 600 cultivators, most of whom were independent cultivators. Since coming to this market, Chen Qingyun has been anxious to rest and refine resources. He has not yet explored the situation here and walked around carefully. This cultivation market in the outer Star Sea is different from that in the inner Star Sea. It is richest in monster resources and has various grades of monster pills in circulation. After all, this sea area is poor in resources and far less rich than the Inner Star Sea, which has gradually led to the monster hunting industry. A large number of cultivators hunt monsters in exchange for cultivation resources, and they know how to fight monsters better than the Inner Star Sea cultivators. Chen Qingyun spent 1 spirit stone and learned a lot of information about this market from an independent cultivator, including the price level here. Due to the impact of the coming demon tide in the Star Sea, the prices of various elixirs, magic tools and materials have generally increased by about 20% to 30% compared with the past, which is expected. Among them, it is worth mentioning that the price of demon beast resources here is much lower than that of the Inner Star Sea. The same second-level low-grade demon pill is sold at 160 spirit stones in the Inner Star Sea. Here, the lowest price can reach 155 spirit stones, which is a few less spirit stones. In addition, the price of taking the teleportation array is not expensive, so it can be said that it is quite economical to buy demon pills here. After learning this, Chen Qingyun came up with an idea and began to wander around the market and buy various demon pills. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 230 Monsters Attack the Island. After wandering around Yunanfang City for a long time, Chen Qingyun spent more than 5,000 spirit stones and purchased a batch of first-level demon pills from several shops, ranging from low-grade to medium-grade, a total of 90 pills. Later, he wanted to buy some more monster meat and started looking for it in a shop called Basin Pavilion. Looking around, there is a dazzling array of ingredients for monsters such as octopus, magic shark, squid, deep-sea baby carp, silver-horned swordfish, etc. Under the introduction of the shopkeeper, Chen Qingyun spent 30 spirit stones to buy 150 kilograms of silver-horned swordfish on the pretext of purchasing ingredients. This is a rare large fish in the sea. It is a second-order low-grade fish. It swims very fast in the water. Its meat is firm and delicious. It has the effect of stabilizing the mind. It is very popular among monks. In addition, Chen Qingyun also purchased several other types of monster meat, spending a total of 59 spirit stones. The total amount of monster meat purchased this time is 339 kilograms. Don't rush to buy more now, go back and refine it first. After returning to the cave, Chen Qingyun sat down cross-legged and began to practice the Great Wasteland Demon Swallowing Technique. The sun rises and the moon sets, and a month passes in the blink of an eye. As he continued to practice, the aura exuding from Chen Qingyun's body suddenly roused. When his spiritual energy was shaken, he opened his eyes happily. The peak of the foundation building period. After devouring 90 demon pills and taking a large amount of demon beast meat, the loose bottleneck was finally broken. During this trip to the cave, although there were intrigues and many life and death dangers, the rewards were unambiguous. Being able to achieve a leap in strength and break through a small realm has already withstood 5 or 6 years of hard training. This Great Wasteland Demon Swallowing Technique consumes too much resources. I spent more than 5,000 spirit stones just to break through from the peak of the late foundation building stage to the peak of the foundation building stage. According to my normal speed, it only takes half a year at most. You can break through. In the future, if you want to use this technique to break through to the Xifu stage, you will need at least 1,000 first-order demon pills. This practice is not cheap. So many demonic beast resources are needed for refining in the foundation building period. As the realm improves, the number of demonic elixirs needed later will increase exponentially, let alone maintain the cultivation of the Purple Mansion period and condense the golden elixirs in the future. Lin Qingguang was indeed excusable for not breaking through the golden elixir stage as early as possible. After counting the days, it has been almost 2 months since I came to Yunanfang City, and it is time to go back. Chen Qingyun tidied up, put away the 5 elements inversion formation, and handed over the spirit stones at the cave rental office. It is worth mentioning that when monks rent a cave to practice, they will inevitably end up in a situation where the lease period has expired and they have not yet left the cave. Therefore, in terms of the lease period of the cave mansion, all places in the world of cultivating immortals have the same rules. That is, the monks will not be expelled after the expiration date, and they only need to repay the spiritual stones later. After staying for more than 10 days, the rent did not increase. It was the same as before, and I had to pay a spiritual stone. Chen Qingyun used this to find out where the nearest teleportation array was. If fellow Taoists want to go to the inner star sea, there is a teleportation array in the north of the island. I have long seen that fellow Taoist monks don't look like local monks. It turns out that they are from the inner star sea. I was indeed right. The shopkeeper smiled slightly. He told the specific situation of the teleportation array in detail. The location it was teleported to was Qingguang Island in the inner star sea, one of the 36 outer islands of the star sect. Thank you, fellow Taoist. Chen Qingyun understood it well, turned around and walked out of the Chamber of Commerce. Qingguang Island is the outermost of the 36 outer islands, and it is also the area closer to the Xingsha Islands. In order to save travel time, it is obviously appropriate to take the teleportation array directly from here and teleport to Qingguang Island. After leaving the Chamber of Commerce and stepping onto the main street, Chen Qingyun found that something was wrong with the surrounding atmosphere. Different from before. At this time, many of the monks who appeared on the street were in a hurry or had solemn expressions on their faces. Most of them took out the magic weapon without saying a word, as if they were facing a formidable enemy. What's going on? Seeing the surrounding situation, Chen Qingyun's eyes narrowed. With such an atmosphere in the city, it looked like a battle was about to break out. You can't tell anything by just looking at it. Chen Qingyun was about to talk to a monk and ask. At this time, only sirens could be heard ringing in the city. Several figures wielding magical weapons were suspended in the sky above Fangxi. One of the figures flew towards Chen Qingyun. I saw that it was a monk in black robes and wearing the clothes of a disciple of the Hidden Carry Island. He had a solemn look on his face, and he shouted with magic power in his voice. The tide of monsters is coming, please fellow Taoists not to leave the island at will. As soon as he finished speaking, the air ban in Fang City had been lifted. Not only that, the monks from Kirigakure Island who were stationed on the island began to activate the formations here. Everything seemed orderly and without any panic. Monsters, attack the island. After learning what happened in front of him, Chen Qingyun's expression changed. Isn't it still a few months before the Star Sea monster tide? Why are there monsters attacking Fangxi Island now? Before anyone could be asked, the monks from Hidden Mist Island and the air did not speak anymore. Wow! At this time, majestic energy gathered in the sky. As bursts of light emerged, centered on one point, they quickly spread. The outline of a formation quickly appeared, covering the entire Yunnan Fang City, and the faint light of the formation spread. From a distance, it looks like an inverted pale golden bowl formation. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun carefully sensed the strength of the formation and soon discovered that the energy fluctuations released by the formation reached at least the third level. A market town is equipped with a set of third-level formations. This Wuan Island is willing to spend money. It's the Tanhuan demon-slaying formation. Beside him, a local casual cultivator stopped and recognized the origin of the formation, and his heart was immediately relieved. This formation has not been opened for many years. It seems that this monster tide is not simple. Beside the casual cultivator, an old man frowned and said, "What are you afraid of?" With the Tanhuan demon-slaying formation and the seniors of Wuan Island guarding, the Purple Mansion monsters will become refining materials when they come. Seeing them panic, there is no need to be so. Hearing the discussions around him, Chen Qingyun suddenly understood a little. It seems that this Hunyuan market has experienced monster tides more than once or twice. The third level formation arranged here in the presence of several Wuan Island monks also explained everything. Chen Qingyun looked over and saw several Wuan Island monks standing in the air, facing the southern direction of the island. Following this line of sight, nothing could be seen. However, the beast tide must have come from that direction. It was the Wuan Island Taoists who took action. The market formation has been activated. Oh, no, my ship is still parked at the dock, and the monster tide will not go to the dock. Oh, my treasure ship is also parked there. As the Yunnan market entered an emergency combat readiness state, many monks became ants on the hot pot. Chapter 231 The fish that slipped through the net. Even though several monks from Qingguang Island joined forces to fight against the tide of monsters, these monks were still somewhat worried. Some monks ran towards Fangshi Pier, worried about their treasure ship, which cost hundreds of spiritual stones and was not cheap. Some monks gathered towards the dock. Chen Qingyun had just arrived and was about to follow the crowd. At this time, a loud voice sounded in the air. I'm Zhuxiantu on Qingguang Island, all comrades, please quickly go to the dock together. This voice was extremely loud and full of majesty that could not be challenged. As soon as these words came out, the originally messy crowd became orderly and headed towards the south pier. In a mighty scene, 400 to 500 monks flew swords, gourds, flying saucers, etc., all flying in the same direction. Seeing this, Chen Qingyun set up a flying boat and followed the crowd towards the pier. After a while, the outline of the harbor appeared. There are more than 100 ships stocked here, nearly half of which are cargo ships with a deeper draft than other treasure ships. When Chen Qingyun came here, more than 200 monks had already gathered here, including several monks from Qingguang Island who had powerful auras and had reached the foundation building stage. Thank God, the wave of monsters hasn't come to the dock yet. Seeing that their ships were safe and sound, some monks breathed a sigh of relief, and more of them landed directly on their ships and guarded them vigilantly. Monks like Chen Qingyun, who had not docked their ships here, gathered on the shore, looking around for traces of the tide of monsters. A Wuan Island monk fell down, stepped on the Huang flying sword, Yukong said seriously in front of Chen Qingyun and others. Fellow Taoists, the tide of monsters is approaching the dock. We will use our formations to calm down the tide in a moment. If we miss any fish that slip through the net, please do not rush forward to kill them. If we need help, we will invite all fellow Taoists to help. This person is none other than Zhuxiantu, the previous foundation building monk. He is dressed in an immortal style and has white hair and beard. As soon as he finished speaking, someone quickly noticed something, turned their head suddenly, and looked at the sea in the distance. Seeing the sea in the distance, a huge wave was sweeping over. Tsunami? No, it's a wave of monsters coming. Many monks looked sideways, followed the sound, and their expressions changed. Among the crowd, Chen Qingyun was the first to activate his consciousness and quickly probed in the direction of the surging waves, and found that more than 1,000 monster beasts were breaking through the sea. Among them, there are mostly first-order monsters, and there are more than 10 second-order monsters. Interesting. Before the monster beasts approached, traces of these monster beasts were detected on Qingguang Island. Even the direction in which the monster beast group was going to attack was accurately controlled. Obviously, they had observed the movement of this monster early, prepared themselves in advance, and called everyone to gather here. Boo-hoo-hoo. Following Chen Qingyun, Zhuxiantu and several other foundation-building monks opened up their spiritual consciousness and carefully explored the group of monsters. After discovering the traces of the 1,000-headed monster beast, Zhuxiantu looked solemn and immediately gave instructions. Disciples, listen to the order and start the formation to slay the monster. As soon as he finished speaking, the 16 Qingguang Island monks around him either nodded in response or started taking action individually. In an instant, everyone saw light surging above the formation above their heads. A huge golden ring hangs in the air outside the formation, emitting golden light, bright and gorgeous. Intense energy condensed in the Tanhuan divine ring, quickly condensing golden divine light to pierce the void, erupting with frightening power, hitting the group of monster beasts attacking from a distance. In just an instant, the divine light from heaven flew tens of thousands of feet through the air. Everyone was at the pier, and golden divine light shot through the sky one after another above their heads, turning the sky and the earth into gold. They felt that the power of the formation was unrivaled in the world. Looking where the divine light went, the surging monsters were instantly submerged, as if they were enveloped by divine swords coming from the sky. Rumbled. The roaring sounds in the sky and the earth, and the roars of monster beasts are endless. The originally turbulent and huge waves were knocked out with a roar in front of the divine power of the formation, and were quickly calmed down. Monsters from land and sea rolled in the sea, roaring and roaring, and the water was soon dyed blood red. A large number of monster corpses floated out of the sea, some large and some small, with different shapes. In front of the Tianhuan demon-slaying formation, these monster beasts had no resistance and were massacred unilaterally. Seeing this scene, many monks secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Not only were they surprised by the power of the Tianhuan demon-slaying formation, they also became more and more aware of the powerful foundation of this Qingguang island. As one of the four major sects in the Outer Star Sea. Just one city under its banner can exert such combat power to instantly wipe out a group of first and second order monster beasts numbering 1,000. One can imagine how powerful the Qingguang island is. Compared with the exclamation in the hearts of the surrounding monks at this time, Chen Qingyun quickly frowned slightly after having the same idea. Because as a Xinghai monk, it is extremely rare to encounter a group of monsters of this size. Now, neither the group of monsters nor the powerful strength of Hidden Carry Island brought much impact or shock to Chen Qingyun. What made him frown was that since a city under the Hidden Carry Island only had a few foundation-building monks and a set of third-level formations, it could so easily wipe out a group of over 1,000 monster beasts. Then why did the Xingzong, which was more powerful than the Hunyuan island and feared by all the Xinghai monks, face the Xinghai monster tide? Why did they need to call on the major cultivation families, the scattered cultivation forces such as Yishi Island, and the four major sects such as Wuan Island to join forces to fight against the monster tide? According to the combat power of the monster tide in front of them, it is enough to pacify it as long as the Wuyan island is dispatched, and there is no need for the full force of other forces to join forces. If you look at it this way, there is only one reason. As powerful as the Xingzong, it is not enough to deal with the Xinghai monster tide alone. This Xinghai monster tide has accumulated for 100 years. It is hard to imagine how many monsters have gathered and are heading towards the Xinghai. Even if all the Xingzong monks are dispatched, it is estimated that they cannot match the number of monsters, let alone cover the entire vast Xinghai. This is a typical case of two fists being no match for four hands. Many ants bite the elephant to death. I sighed in my heart and realized that the battle in the near future would be extremely difficult. Chen Qingyun looked towards the group of monsters again, and saw that the tsunami had subsided, leaving only a few dozen fish that had escaped the net swimming in the sea. They seemed to have received some orders, and they still swam towards the dock regardless of life and death. Facing these fish that had escaped the net, Zhuxiantu decided not to use the big formation to kill them. He glanced at Chen Qingyun and others and said, "There are still dozens of monsters that have not been cleaned up. If you are interested, you can join us. After killing them, the bodies of the monsters are left for you to obtain." As soon as these words came out, some cultivators could not sit still. Chapter 232 Black-Scaled Sea Snake. This opportunity to obtain spirit stones is right in front of us, and there are also monks from Wuan Island to help. It is much easier than fighting alone. I am Li Taiyuan, and I am at the 8th level of Qi refining. Which fellow Taoists are willing to team up with me? After the matter is done, the monsters will be divided equally. A monk immediately spoke up, looking for teammates to form a team. Someone immediately responded, "I am at the 7th level of Qi refining, I will join you." And me. Count me in. Such situations appeared around at the same time. In just a dozen breaths, 5 or 6 teams were temporarily formed. Swish. Then, Dozens of figures flew out. On one side, there were monks from Wulan Island, who went to clean up the monster corpses, collect monster pills, etc. On the other side, more figures rushed towards some mist monsters. These monsters have some wisdom. After seeing the strength of the formation, they did not act in a concentrated manner. Instead, they dispersed and attacked the dock in unison. It was also because they saw these remnants of monsters act like this, and their own strength could not pose much threat to everyone. Compared with controlling the formation, launching a large-scale attack and wasting energy, it is better to fight. Zhuxiantu then ordered to suspend the use of formation attacks. Such a fish that slipped through the net. Chen Qingyun looked at the distant sea, his eyes flashing. He just needed a large amount of monster resources to practice great wilderness devouring monsters. It is his duty to clean up the monsters that attacked the island, so there is no intention of standing by and watching. Just do it. Controlling the flying boat, Chen Qingyun rode the wind and flew into the air, turning into a stream of light and flew straight out of the dock. Build, foundation building peak cultivator. At this moment, the powerful aura displayed by Chen Qingyun immediately attracted the attention of several casual cultivators around him, showing surprise. I didn't expect that there was still a strong man of this level among the crowd. With this person present, it would not take any effort to suppress these monsters. Crash. Dozens of figures flew in the air, and after roughly glancing at the monsters, they quickly selected their opponents and attacked in groups of 3 or 5. A small number of people who had reached the foundation building stage attacked alone and did not team up with others. In a moment, various magic weapons appeared, showing different might and power, and they all hit the sea. Chen Qingyun did this. He stared at a sea snake that was 50 or 60 feet long, and sacrificed the 1,000-star demon slaying sword to cut it straight out. The sea snake reached the second level middle grade, which was equivalent to the strength of the middle stage of the foundation building stage. It was called the black-scaled sea snake. It contained powerful toxins and was good at entanglement and killing opponents. It feeds on sharks and large fish. Seeing Chen Qingyun flying by himself, the black-scaled sea snake surged in the sea, quickly bursting out with huge power, poking its body out of the sea, and bit Chen Qingyun. The toxins in its fangs were clearly visible, and they were so strong that they were dripping. Facing the attack of the 1,000 Stars Demon Slayer sword, it was not afraid at all, and determined that the strength of this cultivator was not as good as its own. The flying sword it controlled was no different from the cultivators it had devoured in the past, and it could not hurt itself at all. This time, if you underestimate Chen Qingyun, you will definitely suffer. With a puff, the 1,000 Stars Demon Slayer sword cut open the huge mouth of the black-scaled sea snake, and a large amount of blood burst out, dyeing the seawater red. When the head was cut open and bleeding, the black-scaled sea snake did not die, and its vitality was very tenacious. Chen Qingyun found the right opportunity, continuously urged the 1,000 Stars Demon Slayer sword, and performed the chasing wind sword technique in the 1,000 Stars sword technique. Two swords cut the 7-inch position of the black-scaled sea snake, completely killing it. Before the black-scaled sea snake fell into the sea, Chen Qingyun took out a gourd, and a faint light gushed out from the mouth of the gourd, shining on the black-scaled sea snake. The Qingguang gourd unfolded its storage ability, shrinking the entire black-scaled sea snake, absorbing it, and storing it in the gourd. The first battle was a victory. After quickly dealing with the first monster, Chen Qingyun looked around and saw that the surrounding monks were in a fierce battle. Several first-level monsters had been cleared and their bodies were floating on the sea. The monks from Wulan Island took out several bag-shaped magic tools and collected the corpses of monsters in the sea on a large scale. Their movements were agile and seemed to have become proficient. Obviously, Qingguang Island had been attacked by monsters before, so these monks from Wulan Island had already prepared a way to deal with it. Let's kill a few more monsters first. Without paying attention to the monks around him, Chen Qingyun opened his spiritual sense and continued to sweep the surroundings, and soon locked on to the second monster. It was a red-spotted octopus, whose strength was in the late stage of foundation building. When the red-spotted octopus grows to adulthood, its body size is not large, and it can only reach the size of 3 elephants at most, but it is agile. When moving in the water, they can often far surpass the human monks of the same level. It is not an advantage to deal with such monsters underwater. Chen Qingyun flew in the air, and saw 3 chi-refining casual cultivators being chased by the red-spotted octopus and dodging in panic. They stayed far away from the sea and were about to take action when a voice came from the side. "Deu, this red-spotted octopus is already comparable to the strength of the late foundation building stage. It is not safe enough for you to deal with it alone." The rest of the words were not finished, but the meaning of the words was very clear. Chen Qingyun glanced sideways and saw that it was Zhuxiantu who spoke. At some point, he also joined the team to eliminate the remnants of the monster beast and called out to Chen Qingyun, saying that this red-spotted octopus was not easy to deal with. Even if he took action, he was not sure of winning, and he needed to join forces with 2 or 3 foundation-building monks to attack together. "No problem." Chen Qingyun responded indifferently. His expression was extremely calm, and he urged the 1,000-star demon sword to move slowly in front of him. 1,000-star sword art was performed at this moment, and flying swords condensed into shape. In a flash, dozens of flying swords appeared and combined into a set of sharp sword formations. This is the Starlight Phantom Sword formation. The monks around were all using various tricks to chop the monster in the sea. They were all excited and had no intention of retreating. In addition to fighting, they still had time to pay attention to the actions of the Taoist friends around them. At this time, the appearance of the Starlight Phantom Sword formation was not surprising. Many monks were able to perform sword formation attacks. The strange thing was that the aura of this sword formation had reached a level that surprised them. What a powerful aura! A cultivator at the peak of foundation building. Which faction is this strong man from? The dozen cultivators around noticed Chen Qingyun's actions, and then felt the powerful power emanating from the Starlight Phantom Sword formation, and looked at him in surprise. Zhuxiantu was stunned at first when he saw this scene, and then he smiled bitterly to himself. "Fellow Taoist, please forgive me for my poor eyesight. A cultivator at the peak of foundation building, with such a powerful strength, it is indeed no problem to deal with the red-spotted octopus at the late stage of foundation building. I judged him by his appearance, and thought that the other party was just a cultivator who had just entered the foundation building period." Chapter 233 Tiger Shark Group. On the sea, the red-spotted octopus stared at the nearest casual cultivator. The opponent in front of it was like a chick in front of an eagle. Whether in terms of strength or size, the casual cultivator showed fear. He fled desperately, secretly shouting that it was not good. The next moment, he saw a figure in front of him, urging hundreds of flying swords to launch a fierce attack. "Senior." The casual cultivator looked overjoyed, as if he had grabbed a life-saving straw, and hurriedly urged the flying disc under his feet to quickly close the distance between him and Chen Qingyun. Feeling the power of this sword formation, the red-spotted octopus became restless and knew that it was not easy to deal with. It waved its tentacles suddenly, and condensed a layer of shield in front of it with its strong demonic power. It was somewhat intelligent and knew that whether it escaped into the sea or dodged around, it would definitely not escape the large-scale attack of the sword formation. It would be better to launch a defense to resist. However, under Chen Qingyun's attack, no matter whether it was dodging or resisting, it was useless. Hundreds of flying swords were powerful. Under Chen Qingyun's urging, they pierced through the void and fell like rain, killing the red-spotted octopus. Being enveloped in the attack range, due to its size, it could not be faster than the speed of the flying swords. Only a few clanging explosions were heard. The shield in front of the red-spotted octopus was broken forcefully. Then, amid its terrified roar, a large number of flying swords pierced through it and cut off several of its tentacles. This move of the Starlight Phantom Sword formation directly killed the red-spotted octopus instantly. Such a powerful force shocked Zhuxiantu. When he looked at Chen Qingyun again, he saw that Chen Qingyun took out the Qingguang gourd and had begun to clean up the body of the red-spotted octopus. According to the division rules, if they fight alone, whoever kills the monster will own it. If several people cooperate, Then they will be divided according to the results of the battle. Chen Qingyun killed the red-spotted octopus alone, and this octopus naturally belonged to him. After killing 2 second-level monsters in a row, his consciousness continued to explore the surroundings. Chen Qingyun soon discovered that a group of tiger sharks were quickly gathering towards the dock. Tiger sharks are the most common shark species in the sea and are at the first level. Because they are not big, only about half the size of a person, they like to live in groups and prey on large fish in groups. Among this group of tiger sharks, there is a tiger shark king who has reached the second level, lower level. Compared with the remnants of other monsters, this is already the strongest among them. Chen Qingyun has nothing to complain about. There are more than 30 tiger sharks. It takes a bit of time to attack alone and kill them one by one. Chen Qingyun did not control the 1000-star demon sword again. Instead, he put away the flying sword and took out the thunderbolt thunderfire net. Injecting the power of mana into the net, the magic weapon flew out of his hand, stretched out in an instant, and covered an area of more than 300 feet in radius. Whoosh! The thunderbolt fire net fell into the sea, covering the tiger sharks. The lightning on it flowed, making crackling sounds, and entangled more than 30 tiger sharks. Under the powerful lightning attack, all the tiger sharks had no power to resist. Chen Qingyun focused on the second-level inferior tiger shark king and quickly caught it in one net. With the wave of his hand, the thunderbolt fire net held a group of tiger sharks and put them all into the Qingguang gourd. The scene was seen by Zhuxiantu on the side, and he was more and more surprised at Chen Qingyun's strength. He casually used 2 second-level top-grade magic weapons. Where did this person come from? Out of politeness, he did not ask. With the only 3 second-level monsters being quickly cleared by Chen Qingyun alone, the remaining first-level monsters naturally could not cause any trouble. In less than half an hour, Zhuxiantu and others had cleared them out, and the originally bustling sea surface returned to calm. Zhuxiantu and others carefully divided the spoils according to the results of the battle. Chen Qingyun killed a total of 39 monsters, accounting for half of the results. He had no intention of staying at this time and turned around to leave. At this time, Zhuxiantu's voice sounded. Deu, wait a minute. Hearing the call, Chen Qingyun paused slightly and looked at Zhuxiantu. What's the matter? After seeing Chen Qingyun's strength, Zhuxiantu did not have the slightest intention of neglecting him. He smiled and got straight to the point. To be honest, I have an unwelcome request. I wonder if you can satisfy it. Please, tell me. It's like this. I need to make pills recently, so I am interested in the poison sac of the red-spotted octopus. I wonder if you can exchange it with me? I can also buy it with spirit stones. The poison sac of the red-spotted octopus. Chen Qingyun carefully reviewed the use of this thing after hearing this. Apart from being used to make detoxification pills, it has almost no other uses. It is obviously not advisable to use this thing to devour and practice. Thinking of this, Chen Qingyun nodded and said, I want a second-level demon pill. Are you willing to exchange it? Compared with the flesh and blood of demon beasts, it will be better to directly devour the demon pill to practice. As for spirit stones, there is no shortage of them for the time being. I have a second-level middle-grade demon pill, which is worth more than 300 spirit stones. It can be exchanged for a poison sac. I am willing to do so. Zhuxiantu said. The red-spotted octopus has only one poison sac. If it is exchanged for spirit stones, it is about this price. Zhuxiantu's sincerity is acceptable. I'll trade with you. Chen Qingyun nodded in agreement and took out the red-spotted octopus. Zhuxiantu laughed and immediately took out the flying sword, and took out the poison sac and the red-spotted octopus in a few strokes. He also cleaned up the monster beast, as a thank you for this transaction. Following. A second-level medium-quality scale-armored sharp-toothed fish demon pill was taken out and handed to Chen Qingyun. Thank you. Chen Qingyun bowed and put away the processed red-spotted octopus, saving him from cleaning it up. After pacifying the monster beast tied, Chen Qingyun set off and went to the north of Qingguang Island, where the teleportation array was located. This Qingguang Island was teleported to the inner Star Sea, and the teleportation fee was 21 spirit stones. The teleportation array was opened every hour. With Chen Qingyun, there were a total of 16 cultivators. As the teleportation array started, Chen Qingyun and others were teleported to Tengwan Island in the Inner Star Sea just between Xumi. This place is still more than 600,000 miles away from the Xingsha Islands. Since he was not in a hurry to return to Zhenhai Island, Chen Qingyun simply sailed on the sea on the Panlong. After taking out the 5 elements and holding the handle on the boat, he began to clean up the harvest of killing monsters on Qinglan Island. 37 tiger sharks. A red spotted octopus and a black-scaled sea snake. After cleaning up, Chen Qingyun began to sit cross-legged, swallowing these monster pills, flesh and blood, and practicing the great wilderness devouring monster art. The sailing on the sea was unknown. After Chen Qingyun swallowed all the monster resources, he opened his eyes, and his cultivation was slightly improved and slightly more stable. Chapter 234 Alarming the Red Dragon. This practice is equivalent to half a year of hard work. The Panlong has been sailing at sea for 2 days. In the next more than half a month, the 4 puppets of 5 elements, Lu, Qixing and Baoang, used water magic to move around in the sea and kill monsters. The 4 foundation building peak puppets have killed more than 60 monsters for Chen Qingyun these days. Among them, the first level accounts for 60%, and the rest are second level monsters. After devouring these monster resources, the true energy in Chen Qingyun's body increased a bit more. After swallowing some demon pills or practicing for 3 years, one can stabilize one's cultivation at the peak level of the foundation establishment stage and condense the true energy to an extremely strong level. At that time, you can try to hit the Zaifu stage. After sailing day and night, by the time they arrived at Zhenhai Island, 16 days had passed since the entire voyage. After being away from the island for more than 2 months, Chen Qingyun naturally couldn't help but inquire after seeing Chen Qingyun return. Chen Qingyun told the 5th sister everything he had experienced during the trip to the cave. The 5th sister was entranced, sometimes sighing, and sometimes surprised. Chen Qingyun's seemingly simple line, but the degree of danger involved makes it feel extremely difficult just to listen to it. It can be said that he is attacked from both sides. If we didn't keep an extra and have strong strength as a guarantee, how could we harvest treasures? If it had been for the casual foundation building monks to participate, they would have been wiped out long ago. What the 6th brother experienced must be more thrilling than what he heard now. Not only did he gain a lot of treasures this time, but his cultivation level also reached the peak of the foundation building stage, which is already on par with the strength of the clan leader. At the peak of the foundation building period, your strength is growing so fast. Chen Qingyun couldn't help but sigh. The 6th brother's growth rate is too fast, which can be described as a monster. There is a big difference between him and me. Shocked, seeing Chen Qingyun achieve such great achievements, Chen Qingyun is looking forward to the birth of the first Zaifu in the Chen family. Qingyun, I have begun to look forward to who will be the first to break through to the Zaifu stage in the future, you or the clan leader. Chen Qingyun smiled. Chen Qingyun smiled. It's really hard to say. I still hope that Chen Xianmin can advance to the next level and break through to Zaifu. After chatting with Chen Qingyun for more than an hour, Chen Qingyun discovered that after not seeing each other for more than 2 months, Chen Qingyun's cultivation had reached the 8th level of qi refining. According to the normal speed of cultivation, it will take at least 3 years. That is to say, thanks to the daily supply of spirit tree essence, and even the fact that the family often provides training resources, Chen Qingyun's cultivation level has advanced rapidly. The benefits brought by the abundance of cultivation resources are vividly reflected here. This made Chen Qingyun more and more determined to pay attention to the fact that the family needed to plant more elixirs and refine more elixirs. As long as the family's elixir cultivation and economy develop, the clan's cultivation will improve faster and faster. It would be best if we could produce the foundation building pill ourselves. While Chen Qingyun was thinking about it, Chen Qingyun took the initiative to talk about the development of the island during this period after he left Zhenhai Island. Since the operation of the weapon refining workshop has long been mature, The family is thinking of expanding the production scale of turtle shell shields. This matter will be discussed after he comes back. After returning to his residence, Chen Qingyun took out the many elixirs he had obtained, summarizing which ones he would bring back to his family and which ones he would grow himself. Let's start with what I grew myself. Now that we have the divine spring of all things, we can start to open up medicinal fields in the blessed land pearl and plant elixirs. As for those elixirs that are not sure to be planted and cannot be collected for a long time, it is better to take them back to the family and let the family handle and plant them to maximize the effect. With the idea in mind, Chen Qingyun divided the elixirs clearly that day. There are a total of 36 species chosen to be planted among the blessed land beads. For example, the second level purple mist grass, golden lotus chrysanthemum, magnolia silver branch, green jade grass, etc. Those first level elixirs are all left to the family to grow. In short, plant whatever can be planted in the blessed land beads, and whatever cannot be planted, just bring it back to the family. The next half day, Chen Qingyun opened up 2 acres of medicinal fields in an area with rich soil and water in Fudi Pearl, and built a reservoir. After the divine spring of all things was placed, the canals were opened for irrigation, and the elixirs began to be planted one after another. With this busy work, I couldn't feel the passage of time. It was already a day after the 2 acres of medicinal fields were filled with elixirs. After completing the planting of the elixir, Chen Qingyun took a few deep breaths, rested for a while, and started working on another planting. He wants to plant Yuqiang fruit trees here. Unlike those elixirs, this tree is particularly picky about its environmental requirements. It will not grow where it is not hot, and it will not grow where there is sunshine. The latter is not a problem. There is no real sun in Fudi Pearl. As for the hot environment, this requires the deployment of a fire attribute array to achieve this. In order to ensure that the Yuqiang fruit tree maintains its vitality, during this period, the sacred spring of all things has been used to maintain it. I do have time to set up a fire attribute formation, but I have to find it. Chen Qingyun doesn't understand the art of formation. After thinking about it, he took out the communication talisman and asked Zhang Wenhui about this matter. Come to our Zhang family and I will make you a formation like this. After learning about Chen Qingyun's needs, Zhang Wenhui sent an invitation. Chen Qingyun tidied up, set up his flying boat and flew towards the Zhang family on Chu Island. When they arrived, Zhang Wenhui was already looking forward to it. At Zhang Wenhui's invitation, Chen Qingyun once again entered the Zhang family. When passing by the Red Lake, the originally calm Red Lake suddenly surged, as if something was surging in the lake. Then, accompanied by the sound of splashing water, a red dragon poked its head out of the lake, with water surging on its body, flowing along the exquisite red scales, and just poked its head towards Chen Qingyun. The red dragon showed a overlooking posture, with cold and deep pupils, which immediately caused Chen Qingyun's expression to move and stop. Red Dragon Ancestor. Seeing the red dragon appear, Zhang Wenhui showed a look of surprise and subconsciously stood in front of Chen Qingyun. This dragon that protects the family has been sleeping at the bottom of the lake for many years and has not appeared for a long time. Today, it actually showed its body for the first time. Second level, dragon. Chen Qingyun's expression did not change. He raised his head and looked at the red dragon. He only felt a sense of oppression sweeping over. There really is a red dragon in the Zhang family's Red Lake. Meet the ancestor. After coming to her senses, Zhang Wenhui hurriedly paid her respects to the Qingguang family. Then, she pointed at Chen Qingyun beside her and explained, "Ancestor, this is the distinguished guest of the Zhang family, Chen Qingyun from the Chen family." As soon as the voice fell, the red dragon lowered its head, came closer, and looked at Chen Qingyun. At this moment, the aura of the peak of the foundation building period emanated from the dragon, covering Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly, without any fear. The hidden aura in his body was no longer restrained at this moment, and all was released. It was like a showdown, but it would not really fight. Foundation building peak. After this momentum was released, the red dragon's expression did not change, but Zhang Wenhui in front of him could not help but exclaimed. Chapter 235 Purple Palace Crystal. She turned around in disbelief. Brother Qingyun, what's your cultivation level? At such a close distance, when she felt it carefully, Zhang Wenhui's eyes widened, her mouth opened wide, and she was stunned. It's been a while since I last saw Chen Qingyun's strength reaching the peak of the foundation building stage. How come the gap between oneself and the other party has become so huge? Faced with Zhang Wenhui's shock, Chen Qingyun didn't pay attention. What made his expression change? At this moment, in the storage bag, there was a red dragon flag that had long been united with his mind. The soul of the red dragon in the flag was actually throbbing. Self-consciously, he transmitted a series of mana fluctuations, as if he had been inspired by something. What's going on? Resonance between people of the same race? When he was confused, the smile on Chen Qingyun's face suddenly became stronger, and he said with a faint smile, "Junior Chen Qingyun, I have met my ancestor." When he spoke, his tone was understated, but without the slightest hint of disrespect. There is no reason to offend the guardian spirit beast of this family. On the contrary, he was carrying the red dragon flag and lured the other party out. The red dragon is still unable to transform and does not understand the human language. But he was quite intelligent and spiritual, and continued to look down at Chen Qingyun, his eyes falling on the storage bag on Chen Qingyun's waist. It's the ancestor of the red dragon. It's been a long time since the ancestor of the red dragon appeared. Several monks from the Zhang family were attracted and gathered here. The red dragon looked at Chen Qingyun deeply, and then escaped into the lake without staying any longer. Usually, my ancestor doesn't show up easily, but this time I let you catch up. Seeing the red dragon diving into the lake again, and the powerful aura of the foundation building stage dissipating, Zhang Wenhui came back to his senses and secretly breathed a sigh of relief. When did you break through to the foundation building stage? Why haven't I heard of it before? The breakthrough has been coming for a while. Chen Qingyun responded simply, his mind still on Kaijiao. The red dragon flag can cause such a big reaction from the red dragon. Is it just because it contains the souls of the same race and attracts the opponent? As an ordinary dragon, the red dragon can grow up to the 3rd level. It does not have the habit of living in groups, and it does not care about the life and death of other people of the same race. It seems that the soul of the red dragon in the red dragon flag is not simple. It seems that there is some connection with the red dragon of Zhang family. The other party showed up and stared at him for a while, but he couldn't say anything, and he didn't take the storage bag away. Interesting. While Chen Qingyun was thinking, he continued to follow Zhang Wenhui to the reception hall and took a seat. It's fellow Taoist Chen, long time no see. Zhang Ren saw Chen Qingyun arriving from a distance, came up to greet him, and started chatting. Knowing that Chen Qingyun came here to buy the formation, Zhang Ren laughed. If you come to my Zhang family to study this time, according to your qualifications, you can completely arrange the first order formation by yourself in the future. You can arrange as much as you want by then. It's a pity that it's not you who comes here this time, but the other 2 monks from your Chen family. After laughing and joking a few times, Zhang Ren mentioned the exchange and learning between the Zhang family and the Chen family. During the conversation, we learned that more than a month ago, the Chen family sent Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun from the Qing generation to learn the formation. The Zhang family also sent 2 literary monks to the Chen family to learn weapon refining. Chen Qingyun had some impressions of Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun is his 11th sister. She has a 2nd level of qi refining. She has been practicing in the family all year round. Her talent is not outstanding and she has the 4 spiritual roots of water, metal, wood and fire. Chen Qingyun's qualifications are better. He has the 3 spiritual roots of wind, fire, and wood, and the 3rd level of qi refining. He is a key candidate for training in the Chen family and is Chen Qingyun's 9th younger brother. While waiting for the formation to be made, Chen Qingyun met Qingling and Qingguang. Brother 6. When they met Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingling at Zhang's house, they greeted each other in surprise. They immediately felt cordial to see their own people here. The three of them sat together and chatted from time to time. While waiting for more than half a day, Zhang Wenhui quickly completed the formation. This array has reached the first level mid-level, called the Earth Flame Array. It is a fire attribute array with only one effect, changing the temperature and environment of the landscape. The price is 50 spirit stones. After obtaining the formation, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun informed them, left the Zhang family, and flew to Linjian Island. In the Chen family, Chen Qingyun directly found Chen Xianming. "Qingyun, you are back." As soon as he entered the door, he saw Chen Xianming coming up to him with a smile. "Clan leader." Chen Qingyun greeted and sat down with the old patriarch. Chen Xianming learned from Chen Qingyun that he had recently traveled outside to hunt for treasures, so out of concern, he asked about what he had gained these days. Chen Qingyun slowly informed about this trip to the cave. When mentioning cultivation, Chen Xianming paid close attention and a look of joy appeared on his face. "Qingyun, your cultivation. I just broke through to the peak of the foundation building period more than 10 days ago." Chen Qingyun nodded slightly. "Ha ha ha ha, good, good, good." When Chen Xianming heard this, the joy on his face turned into excitement. He couldn't help but stretched out his palm and patted Chen Qingyun on the shoulder. "I can't believe that your cultivation has improved so rapidly in the past few years, and you have stood out from the family. Now your cultivation has caught up with me. May God bless our Chen family. With your talent and hard work, you will reach the Purple Mansion stage before me. As long as we work hard and get you a Purple Mansion crystal, you will be able to break through to the Purple Mansion stage." At this point, Chen Xianming's eyes were full of admiration, and he pulled Chen Qing to talk about the future training plan. To break through the Purple Mansion stage from the Foundation Establishment stage, you first need to open up the upper Danshan and the middle Danshan in the cultivator's body. Then concentrate the true energy in the Tao Meridian to connect the original lower Danshan with the upper Danshan and the middle Danshan, so that the Purple Mansion can be opened up, allowing the soul, the Tao body, and the true energy to be greatly sublimated. If you don't rely on external objects, just practice by yourself, it won't be as dangerous as the foundation building of the Qi refining cultivator. You can spend a lot of time and open up the Purple Mansion naturally. Generally speaking, depending on talent and opportunity, the time ranges from a few years to 100 years. However, if there are spiritual objects and elixirs to assist, this time will be greatly shortened. This is just like the foundation building pill, which has derived a treasure specifically used to open up the Purple Mansion, the Purple Mansion crystal. This thing is a spiritual crystal containing the power of the Purple Mansion, which is nurtured by the third level and above heaven and earth spiritual veins, and can be subdivided into various attributes such as gold, wood, water, fire, earth, ice, wind, and thunder. As long as the cultivator uses the Purple Mansion crystal of the corresponding spiritual root attribute, he can get the help of the fortune to open up the Purple Mansion. Chen Qingyun has 3 spiritual roots of gold, fire, and wood, and can use the Purple Mansion crystal of any of the attributes of gold, fire, and wood to practice. However, the price of this Purple Mansion crystal is not cheap, and one piece costs 100,000 spiritual stones. Chapter 236. The Star Patrol arrives and the battle begins. If you don't rely on the Purple Mansion crystal to break through, the progress will be much slower. Feeling Chen Xianming's kindness, Chen Qingyun shook his head. Although using the Purple Mansion crystal to break through the bottleneck is fast, I still like to try to open up the Purple Mansion myself. If the family has the ability to buy the Purple Mansion crystal, I hope you use it first. I'm old. If you open up the Purple Mansion before me, the benefits you can bring to the family will far exceed mine. Chen Xianming looked serious, thinking that Chen Qingyun's future achievements can go further in terms of age. It's actually a good choice to give the Purple Mansion crystal to the old cultivator or the young cultivator, who uses it best. This is actually a good choice. Chen Qingyun still shook his head after hearing this. He is about to participate in the monster tide battle. At that time, The most lacking thing is various monster resources. With the great wilderness devouring demon art in hand, he can seize this opportunity to break through to the Purple Mansion stage, or even impact the Golden Core stage. This Purple Mansion crystal is naturally not a big demand for him. Without going into this topic further, Chen Qingyun changed the topic and mentioned the spiritual medicine, and took out some spiritual medicine. You will give them all to the family to plant? Seeing the dozens of spiritual medicines in front of him, Chen Xianming asked solemnly. With these spiritual medicines, the family's medicine garden can be expanded a lot, and more spiritual medicines can be cultivated. This is a good thing for the family. Yes. Chen Qingyun nodded. Ha, that's good. After a while, Chen Xianming called Chen Dalin and started to transplant these spiritual medicines. Next, after chatting with the old patriarch for more than half an hour, Chen Qingyun copied some of Lin Kangong's refining solutions to the patriarch and handed them over to the family. 4th level, refining solution. You still have such a good thing in your hand. It was obtained by chance and is useful to the family. Ha, wonderful. After chatting with Chen Xianming for a few words, Chen Qingyun got up and said goodbye. In the family's training square, he found Chen Qingyun. The little girl was practicing, and as her little hands formed a seal, 3 ice blue ice blades condensed in front of her, revealing a trace of cultivation. I haven't seen my sister for a long time, and I really miss her. Seeing her performing the ice blade technique, Chen Qingyun's eyes fixed. 1st level of Qi refining. This was quite a surprise. King Luan's cultivation had reached the 1st level of Qi refining, and she had become a cultivator. Brother. Seeing Chen Qingyun coming, Chen Qingyun stopped what she was doing. Brother, you're back. She seemed extremely happy, jumping around Chen Qingyun. Later, she simply hugged Chen Qingyun's thighs, and her eyes smiled into a crescent shape. You are already a cultivator, why are you still like a child? Chen Qingyun said with a smile, with a doting look in his eyes. The surrounding Chen family cultivators also smiled when they saw this scene. Brother, I was originally a child. I ate a sweet fruit and reached the Qi refining stage. Do you think I am amazing? Chen Qingyun said happily, sharing her joy. Sweet fruit? Hearing this, Chen Qingyun thought of the infant spirit fruit. Calculating the date, the infant spirit fruit matured in this period recently. It seems that the infant spirit fruit is of great help to Chen Qingyun. Yes. Chen Qingyun nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. She told Chen Qingyun that she had entered the Qi refining stage in one fell swoop after eating the infant spirit fruit more than 10 days ago. Chatting with Chen Qingyun. Chen Qingyun learned that although Chen Qingyang also took the infant spirit fruit, he was weaker in aptitude. He took a total of 3 infant spirit fruits before he entered the 1st level of the Qi refining stage. The Chen family thus added 2 new cultivators. In terms of age and aptitude, the future achievements of Chen Qingyang and Chen Qingyun can at least reach the Purple Mansion stage. These 2 are the little treasures of the Chen family. Our Qingyun is also a cultivator. Brother will give you some gifts to celebrate. Chen Qingyun smiled slightly and took out 3 magic weapons. They were the Water Cloud Shield, the Snow Silver Sword, and the Tanks Soft Armor, all of which were of the 1st grade top grade level. In order to facilitate her to keep a low profile, Chen Qingyun simply gave her a 1st grade upper grade Phantom Sword and a 1st grade middle grade Gold Wire Rope. After getting 5 magic weapons, Chen Qingyun was stunned. She never thought that her brother would give so many magic weapons. And 3 of them were 1st grade top grade magic weapons. After learning the theoretical knowledge of cultivation, the common sense of distinguishing between magic weapons, talismans, formations, and elixirs, she naturally knew the value of 1st grade top grade magic weapons. This made the little girl shake her head repeatedly, thinking that they were too expensive and she couldn't take them. It was not until Chen Qingyun explained that these were all magic weapons that were no longer used and 1st grade magic weapons were not very useful for foundation building cultivators that she accepted them with confidence. Out of consideration, Chen Qingyun specifically reminded him not to show the first-class magic weapon in front of outsiders unless it is a critical moment. Just use the phantom sword and the golden rope at ordinary times. Okay, I will remember it. Chen Qingyun nodded repeatedly. She is still young and does not know the intrigues and deceptions in the world of immortal cultivation. As long as she listens to her brother, it will be right. In the next 2 days. Chen Qingyun settled down on Linjian Island and began to arrange the earth flame array in the blessed land bead and plant jade fruit trees. This thing is good, but it takes too long to bear fruit. It takes 300 years to bear fruit. Later, we need to find some ways to shorten the fruiting time and promote growth. After completing the planting of the Yuqiang fruit tree, Chen Qingyun was practicing in the family. When he learned that Chen Daoran's cultivation had reached the 9th level of qi refining, he was preparing to go into seclusion. There are 2 foundation building pills in the family, one of which was obtained by Chen Daoran, so he can naturally take it to build the foundation. After Chen Daoran went into seclusion, Chen Qingyun stayed for more than 10 days, often controlling the 5 elements and 4 foundation building puppets, looking for monsters in the sea around Linjian Island, and maintaining the swallowing and cultivation. After killing them. One day, a cultivator visited the Chen family, which attracted Chen Xianming to receive him seriously, and several senior members of the Chen family gathered together. I am Long Taifeng, the Star Patrol envoy of the Qing sect. The demonic tide of the Star Sea is coming. I am here to inform you on the order of the sect. Within 3 months, please follow the call for the conscription. Your family must send a foundation-building cultivator and 8 cultivators of the same clan to gather at Hunyuan Island in the Outer Star Sea to participate in this expedition. The 3-month gathering period must not be missed. Please make reasonable arrangements and do not miss the gathering time. Long Taifeng said directly that he came here, and his words and deeds were extremely solemn. The Qing sect governs the Star Sea, and the 4 major sects of Wuan Island, Chonglu, Lingbao Mountain and Yaoang Mountain follow their lead and help govern this vast sea area. In order to patrol the Star Sea and grasp the dynamics of various places, the Qing sect has specially established the position of Star Patrol envoy while sending disciples all over the Star Sea to explore various intelligence. Many of the candidates for this position are selected from the core disciples, who can be said to be the best among the geniuses. As a patrolling envoy of the Qing sect, one must have the strength to reach the Purple Mansion stage. Such a person can be promoted to the position of elder in the future and has great potential. Therefore, in the Xinghai, no one will easily offend a patrolling envoy. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 237 The Storm is Coming. This Long Taifeng is the Star Patrol envoy who visited the Chen family more than 4 years ago to convey the recruitment for the Star sect. His cultivation has reached the middle stage of the Zaifu. Whether it was due to Long Taifeng's strength or background, the Chen family did not dare to neglect at all, serving good wine and tea with warm hospitality. The Chen family has given the order, Senior, please rest assured. Several members of the Chen family looked at each other, feeling the importance of this matter, and Chen Xianming among them responded. It is the Chen family's duty to participate in the battle and protect the Sea of Stars. Well, it's good that you have this heart. Senior, it's been a long journey, so why not stay here for a few days? We need to gather the tribesmen outside to discuss the specific candidates and departure time, so we can give Senior an answer. Chen Xianming said politely. No, I have to go to various places in the Xingsha Islands to inform other families. There is no time to delay. Long Taifeng waved his hand, stood up and left. In a few days, the sect will send a foundation-building monk to station at your Chen family. By then you will participate in the battle, and you don't have to worry about the safety of your clan. You can put your worries at ease. Long Taifeng did not forget to explain. As for the list of participants and departure time, You only need to tell me the fellow disciple. The fellow disciple will report the information back to Xingzong for registration. Just don't make any omissions. It is a rule set by the Star Sect to send disciples of the Star Sect to guard the major families participating in the war. The purpose is to allow the Chen family, Zhang family and other families to participate in the war with peace of mind. There is no need to worry about outsiders taking advantage of the lack of strength in the clan. As for which monk Xingzong will send to the Chen family this time, what his strength is, and whether he can speak well, Long Taifeng did not reveal this. He doesn't know it himself. Same day after Long Taifeng left, Chen Xianmin contacted all monks outside the family who were in the middle stage of qi refining and above, and called them back to the clan for a meeting. He also called Chen Daoran, Chen Qingyun and others in the clan to put aside their affairs for the next few days and prepare to attend a family meeting to discuss important matters. Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingfeng, Chen Daohai, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingyun who were outside were all recalled to the family. The arrival of Long Taifeng made the atmosphere in the Chen family become somewhat solemn. Everyone is holding on to time, calculating how long it will be until the Star Sea Demon Tide breaks out. Calculating this, there are only 5 or 6 months left. Xingzong came to notify them in advance and asked them to gather in the outer Star Sea within the next 3 months. This was not unexpected. However, there will be a sense of crisis sweeping over. Regarding the candidates to participate in the war, this is the focus of their discussion. Since there will be Star Sect's foundation building monks stationed on Lingjian Island, and the formation protection on the island, there is no need to worry about attacks from foreign enemies. At least if you are not a monk at the Xifu stage, you can't attack Lingjian Island. If you really attack, everyone will be stationed on the island and they won't be able to defend it. Therefore, there is nothing to worry about, just send out the backbone of the family. There are many rewards during the battle. The higher the level of monks participating, the greater the chance and higher survival rate. There is no need to send clansmen with weak strength to be cannon fodder. This battle can be said to be a big opportunity. After several days of deliberation, the Chen family finally selected 9 candidates to participate in the battle. Led by Chen Xianming, 8 people including Chen Daoran, Chen Daohai, Chen Dalin, Chen Qingfeng, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun formed a team to participate in the battle. In the family hall, 9 people gathered here. Chen Xianmin sat at the head of the table. After making sure that everyone was present, he showed a serious look and spoke slowly. You all already know that the Star Patroller visited our home a few days ago, so I won't go into details. I'm calling you this time to discuss the specific departure time in the next 3 months. According to the requirements given by Xingzong, we need to gather at Hunyuan Island in the outer Star Sea. What do you think is the best time to set off? As soon as Chen Xianmin finished speaking, Chen Daoran and others looked at each other in shock. Long Taifeng visited the Chen family a few days ago, and this matter has spread within the family. Not to mention the monks of the Chen family, even the mortals in the family knew about this. Regarding the recruitment requirements, some people have naturally thought about it. Is it okay if they secretly send one less person to not participate in the battle? However, this idea was abandoned as soon as it came up. In terms of righteousness and responsibility, being protected by the Star Sect and surviving and reproducing in the pure land of the Star Sea, facing the tide of monsters and sea beasts raging across the Star Sea, is like having foreign enemies come to kill people at home, who would sit back and wait for death. We must share some of the responsibility of guarding the Sea of Stars, and we must benefit ourselves and even future generations. Participating in the battle is a natural responsibility. Let's talk about Xingzong's intelligence capabilities. 100 years ago, when the Xinghai Demon Tide broke out, there was a cultivating family that secretly asked several tribesmen and monks who had signed up to run back to the family in the name of fighting. At that time, Xingzong relied on its powerful intelligence network to learn about this incident and directly sent people to drag those monks onto the battlefield. It was precisely because of the revelation of this incident that the family finally suffered the consequences. Its reputation was ruined, and it received many cold looks and accusations from the outside world. Therefore, everyone present knew that this battle was inevitable. Whether it is for the sake of family reputation, personal training, or Xinghai's righteousness, he will take the initiative to participate. How can he be alone? After a brief lull, Chen Daoran smiled and spoke first. When you summoned me this time, I guess that it was to discuss this matter. There is still plenty of time for the 3 months of gathering. How about this? I want to break through to the foundation building stage before setting off, which is expected to take about a month. Hearing Chen Daoran's words, Chen Xianmin smiled bitterly and nodded. Okay, during this period, I will focus on improving my strength. This time, I will really break through to the foundation building stage first. After breaking through from the Qi refining stage to the foundation building stage, the self-protection ability on the battlefield can be greatly improved, which is a good thing that everyone will like. If anyone in the family still has the opportunity to impact the foundation building stage, take advantage of this period to break through quickly. I think, just follow what Daoran said. Why don't we set off again in 2 months? The calm Chen Dohai suggested. During these 2 months, those who are in seclusion should be in seclusion first, and those who have affairs to deal with should deal with them as soon as possible. Everyone needs to prepare well. As soon as this proposal came out, someone immediately nodded in agreement. I think it's feasible. Okay. Half of the people present agreed. Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun looked at each other and nodded secretly. Seeing that everyone had no objection to Chen Dohai's proposal, Chen Xianmin smiled and said, since you all agree, let's set off on time in 2 months. During this conscription period, all the major teleportation arrays in the inner and outer star seas can be used free of charge by all participating cultivators and forces according to the rules set by the star sect. When the time comes, we will take the teleportation array directly to Hunyuan Island. Speaking of this, Chen Dohai looked at Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun. Qingyun and Qingyun will participate in the conquest on Zhenhai Island, so we need to find 2 more people to temporarily replace them to guard Zhenhai Island. Qingyun, you have made significant progress in the past 4 years. I didn't expect that you have reached the 8th level of Qi refining now. In a few years, you will also be able to impact the foundation building stage. Chen Xianmin showed appreciation. Among the Chen family's king generation, he was most optimistic about Chen Qingyun, and was shocked by Qingyun's talent and strength several times. The next 3 were Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingluan, and Chen Qingyang. Upon learning about Chen Qingyun's cultivation, Chen Daoran and others all looked at her, and their faces also showed admiration. 8th level of Qi refining. Qingyun will soon be able to build a foundation. Chapter 238 An unexpected surprise. Chen Qingyun returned to the family and seemed to be very quiet. She sat quietly beside Chen Qingyun, facing everyone's gaze, smiled slightly, shook her head and said, I'm just lucky and you take good care of me. As she spoke, she glanced at Chen Qingyun and showed gratitude on her face. Recalling the resources Chen Qingyun had given her over the years, from the soul-nurturing jade to the shadow sword, to the Qi refining pill, the spirit of the spirit wood, and so on. She has made such progress over the years, most of which was obtained with the help of Chen Qingyun. The 6th brother is very good to me. It is a very happy thing to have such a younger brother. Ha ha ha, you and Qingyun are so humble. Good, good, keep working hard in the future and strive to reach the foundation building stage as soon as possible. There is still a foundation building pill in the family. Chen Xianmin laughed and stopped talking about this topic. He mentioned what the family would do in the next 2 months and the recent changes in the family. When the family's top fighters go to war, they will definitely leave behind a certain amount of equipment. For this reason, Chen Xianmin decided to take out all the 2nd level talismans in the family library and give them to Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others. In addition, there is the friendship study between the Chen and Zhang families. The cultivators sent by the Zhang family are Zhang Wenling and Zhang Wendong. both of whom are at the second level of Qi refining. During the time Chen Qingyun stayed on Linjian Island, he met these two people, two very humble and introverted Zhang family cultivators. These two people usually like to immerse themselves in the study of refining equipment and rarely show up. By the way, this time Chen Daoren will go to the front line, who will continue to teach these two people to learn refining equipment. Chen Qingyun thought of this question. Soon, Chen Xianmin gave a response. Because the Zhang family of Chu Island also participated in the war, because of the family's manpower needs, Zhang Wenling and Zhang Wendong will be recalled to the Zhang family in 3 days. Similarly, Chen Qingling and Chen Qingyun, who are studying in the Zhang family, will also return to the family in 3 days. The learning and communication between the Chen and Zhang families will be temporarily suspended and will continue after the war is over. Finally, it is the decision of family affairs. Everyone present will reduce the affairs they are engaged in, or let other clansmen take over first. In addition, in order to enhance the strength of each clan member, the family will try to provide resources such as magic tools, elixirs, talismans, etc. As long as the family has something, everyone can exchange it. For this reason, Chen Xianmin decided that the family can give 2,000 merit points to everyone present. These 2,000 merit points can be used to freely exchange resources, or exchanged for spirit stones, and then go to the market to buy what they want. Hearing this, Chen Qingfeng and others looked very happy. Although they have made some preparations in the near future to deal with the upcoming war. But not everyone can have such a good opportunity like Chen Qingyun, who has accumulated tens of thousands of spirit stones. Now, with 2,000 merit points given by the family, you can do a lot of things and get a few pieces of equipment you want. Chen Qingyun and his companions were all smiling, ready to make a move. Since the Zhao family was eradicated, the resources in the family treasury have become richer and more diverse, which makes the clan members have more choices in exchanging resources. Now is the critical moment to improve everyone's overall strength. The family meeting continued until the evening. During this period, after discussion, the successors of Zhenhai Island were Chen Qinglai and Chen Nianlong. Both of them are not very strong. Chen Qinglai is at the 3rd level of Qi refining, and Chen Nianlong is at the 1st level of Qi refining. Among them, Chen Nianlong has made some progress in the way of talismans recently and has become a talisman maker. At that time, she and Chen Nianwai studied the art of talismans together, and took the lead in making achievements and became the first talisman maker of the Chen family. Soon, Chen Nianwai will catch up with her and become the 2nd talisman maker. In order to improve their response capabilities, Chen Xianmin paid out of his own pocket and gave each of them a 2nd level medium quality phantom sky sword talisman. Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun led the two back to Zhenhai Island and asked them to take over the 4 formations of the Liang demon slaying formation, familiarize themselves with the mining of the mineral veins, the weapon refining workshop, etc. This instruction took more than a month in a blink of an eye. Before leaving Zhenhai Island with Chen Qingyun and returning to the family, Chen Qingyun took out 4 Tanlzi and gave them to the two respectively. With the 2nd level talisman and Tanlzi, they are also sure to kill the foundation building cultivators, and they will not be completely defenseless. Besides, the defense of Zhenhai Island can be as solid as a rock. Xingzong will send people to guard the Chen family land, but will not send people to look after Zhenhai Island. It is safest to guard it with our own family. Chen Qingyun and the others took the Dukan boat and returned to the family. They found that Chen Qingling and Chen Qingqing had returned to the family. Chen Qingyu will not return to Lingsai County for the time being, and will stay in the family. Chen Qingyu's strength has now reached the 6th level of Qi refining. At the same time, a rare figure came to the clan. It was Chen Qingfeng. At first, they thought Chen Qingfeng came back to visit his relatives, but after asking, they found out that it was completely different from what they expected, which could be said to be a surprise. Because Chen Qingfeng came to guard the Chen family. He was the person sent by Xingzong to guard Linjian Island. Not only that, in terms of cultivation, Chen Qingfeng has reached the foundation building stage, and judging from the fluctuations in his aura, it seems that he has just broken through. Qingyun, I haven't seen you for a while, and your strength has improved a lot. I, your second brother, feel ashamed of myself. Feeling Chen Qingyun's unrestrained breath fluctuations, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but sigh in amazement, and said bitterly. As a former family genius, he was able to join the Zhuxiantu practice, which made him somewhat complacent. But as he grew older and experienced many competitions, he gradually realized that there were many people who were better than him. Chen Qingyun alone was so brilliant that he felt that the waves behind pushed the waves ahead. Second brother, your cultivation has also improved a lot. Congratulations on advancing to the foundation building stage. Chen Qingyun smiled and congratulated. When talking about this foundation building, Chen Qingyun's face showed emotion, and he told him that this foundation building was obtained from the sect, a foundation building pill. The process can't be said to be easy. But fortunately, he got what he wanted and succeeded in building the foundation. Compared to you, I'm still far behind. You can even try to break through to the Purple Mansion stage, but I've only just entered the foundation establishment stage. Chen Qingyun smiled bitterly, feeling that his achievements were insignificant in front of Chen Qingyun. Feeling Chen Qingyun's helplessness and bitterness, Chen Qingyun didn't say much on this topic. He changed the topic and asked Chen Qingyun why he came to guard the Chen family this time, and whether he had specially applied to Xingzong. Chapter 239. All parties gather. I actually applied to Elder Gu to return to the family to station this time. Don't look at it. Although I am in the Star sect, my heart is still towards the family. The blood of the family is flowing in my body, and I cannot forget my roots. With Chen Qingyun here to protect the family, Chen Qingyun and the others are naturally happy to see him. But he is much better than outsiders. After chatting for a while, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun stayed with the family, waiting to set off together in more than 10 days. For this reason, Chen Qingyun exchanged a lot of elixirs to replenish resources. The expedition gathering was about to take place. During this period, the Chen family did not send anyone to wander around. Under the command of Chen Xianming, the family monks were either practicing in seclusion to consolidate their strength, or exchanging them with the family to obtain combat resources purchased in the market. Equip everything that needs to be equipped. It is worth mentioning that since they obtained the batch of elixirs from the Zhu family on Baiwa Island, the Zhu family has not yet sent anyone to claim them. I don't know if it was found out that this batch of pills fell into the hands of the Chen family. I still thought that the elixir had been sold by Taoist Nirvana. Anyway, after waiting for so long, it still hasn't come. Chen Xianming paid no attention to this for the time being and took all the Zhu family elixirs with him. When the time comes, on the recruitment battlefield, they will be distributed to the tribesmen when needed. It is considered a backup resource. You still have to use it when it's time to use it. On this day, exciting news spread among the family. Chen Daoran succeeded in building the foundation. Including Chen Qingyun, the number of foundation building monks in the Chen family has now reached 6. Chen Daoran was in retreat this time and entered the foundation building period before he turned 60, which made him extremely happy. Congratulations, Grandpa. Chen Qingyun smiled and was in a good mood these days. Chen Daoran's success in building the foundation gave everyone in the Chen family a little more confidence in this battle. From a family of more than 20 monks, 6 foundation building monks were born. Looking at the Xinghai Immortal Cultivation world, this is definitely a topic that people talk about. I am afraid that many families will come to ask for advice on how your Chen family cultivates its people. It is equivalent to giving birth to a strong foundation builder out of 3 monks. The star sex mechanism and resources for cultivating disciples are very complete, but they cannot achieve this efficiency. The Chen family of Lingjian Island is amazing. The 3-month gathering deadline is getting closer and closer, and news is constantly being delivered from the alien sea. Since 10 years ago, the 3 golden elixir monks Li Xiang, the elder of the star sect, Master Jingming, and Bei Kaifeng were exploring the Sea of 10,000 monsters and discovered signs of a gathering of beasts. After the 3 people passed the news back to Xingzong, Xingzong began to dispatch hundreds of monks, headed by the 3 of them, to carefully survey and explore the Sea of 10,000 monsters, and record the number of monsters gathered. Then, After 3 years, tens of thousands of monsters were killed one after another. Starting from the outer Star Sea, we continued to explore the surrounding areas, that is, parts of the Sea of 10,000 Demons. Finally, the number of monsters that had been gathered was roughly calculated. At least 500,000 monster beasts gathered. For this reason, the Star Sect began to send more monks to continuously disperse and eliminate the beast tide and keep them out of the Star Sea. However, in the past few years, the monster beasts in the Sea of 10,000 monsters have gathered more and more frequently, and the number has begun to exceed 500,000, with the appearance of a storm that is about to come. Facing this level of beast tide, they still sometimes gather and sometimes disperse. According to Xingzong's own efforts, it has begun to become incapable of doing anything. A tide of beasts began to break through the defense line and poured into the outer Star Sea area. Qingguang Island has been frequently attacked by monsters and beasts in recent years. This is the most intuitive example. In order to resist the invasion of this beast tide, Xingzong held discussions more than 4 years ago and came to a response decision. Then all the immortal cultivating families in Xinghai and the 4 major sects were recruited to assist. At the same time, in order to attract the efforts of casual cultivators and unite to fight against the beast tide, a reward system was specially released. This has made many casual cultivators with tight pockets and ambitions to actively sign up to participate. 16 days later, Chen Ji appeared. Led by Chen Xianming, Chen Daoran, Chen Dalin, Chen Dohai, Chen Qingfeng, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun, and Chen Qingyun. 9 people took the Panlong and set off towards Hunyuan Island. Hunyuan Island is more than 1 million miles away from the Xingsha Islands. It can only be reached by boat, even if it sails non-stop day and night. It can't be reached in 2 months. Flying over with magic power would be too much for even the Golden Core cultivators, so they would definitely have to use a teleportation array. This is what happened. Recently, monks from all over the country have been marching in the direction of Star Sect, hoping to reach the outer Star Sea by riding the teleportation array. According to the information provided by Chen Qingfeng, there are a total of 101 family forces participating in the recruitment this time. Among them, 15 are in Xingsha Islands and 26 are in Xingluo Islands. The other 60 families are immortal cultivating families distributed in the inner and outer Star Seas. Xingzong sent more than 100 monks for this purpose. Among them, 101 are stationed in these cultivating families. The remaining dozen or so are distributed among the 4 major sects in the outer Star Sea. As a cultivating family, the number of monks is far less than that of the sects, so the number of monks sent by the major families is not very large. Among many families, the Chen family ranks at the bottom in terms of the number of monks dispatched. There is no way, there are too few monks in the family, so 9 people were sent out this time, and they are still the backbone members of the family, and they are very worthy of this battle. The number of people dispatched by other cultivating families varied in size, with most being around 100 people. The largest number of cultivators came from the Long family of Xingluo Islands, which dispatched 940 cultivators, led by 5 Purple Mansion cultivators. 101 immortal cultivation families gathered a total of about 10,000 people. Among the 5 major sects, the Xingzong had the largest number of people, dispatching 10,000 cultivators, and the lowest cultivation level was at the 7th level of Qi refining. Wuan Island, Chonglu, Yaoang Mountain and Lingbao Mountain each dispatched 500 cultivators. Yishi Island dispatched the most cultivators, reaching 60,000! Among them, more than 3,000 casual cultivators, Hanlei Ozu, were selected to comply with the recruitment requirements of Xingzong. These 3,000 casual cultivators can be understood as the minimum number of people that Yishi Island has to dispatch. The other 50,000 casual cultivators came from all over Xinghai. They were attracted by the rewards issued by Xingzong and took the initiative to sign up to participate as people from Yishi Island. All the participating cultivators had a cultivation level of at least the 4th level of Qi refining. On the one hand, for the sake of fairness, no one should complain. On the other hand, The middle stage of qi refining is very suitable for training oneself in uninterrupted battles and quickly reaching the late stage of qi refining as long as it is well grasped. In the previous Xinghai monster tide, there were many middle stage qi refining cultivators who could obtain resources through a large number of battles. Often they can break through to the 8th or 9th level of qi refining in 2 or 3 years. Strong people cannot be cultivated in a greenhouse. This is the concept of Xingzong's training disciples. The number of cultivators dispatched in this action to protect the Xinghai has reached 100,000. After sailing on the sea for 12 days, everyone arrived at Qingguang Island. Chapter 240 Chen Qingyun number 039:S Opportunity. Take the teleportation array from Qingguang Island to Qinglan Island. Then go to Hunyuan Island to gather on your own. This is the shortest route. Recently, many more ships and monks have come to Qingguang Island. Groups of monks arrived one after another, making this place much more prosperous than before. Among them, Xingzong convened more than a dozen chambers of commerce under its banner. For example, Fangrao, Haitong, Yingwu Chamber of Commerce, etc., transported a large amount of materials and gathered them on the 36 outer islands. Then operate the teleportation array day and night to transport combat materials to the outer Star Sea for support in various places. Such large-scale supplies are transported centrally and are not sold to the outside world. This has caused the prices of various commodities in Zhuxiantu City on the 36 outer islands to rise rapidly recently, with the premium increasing by 1 to 2%. Even so, there is still no shortage of monks to buy, and there is often a shortage of supplies. Feeling far more lively than before, many mortals on the island talked about it, guessing that something big was about to happen, and often started discussions during tea after meals. You can often see large ships crossing the sea and docking at the pier. Many new faces have emerged on the island. Most of them are family monks. As for those casual cultivators who did not have ships, they directly used their magic weapons to cross the sea. You can often see silhouettes walking on the island with flying swords, gourds, jade plates, mahjong and other magical objects, which is extremely lively. No matter how you look at it, it looks like a large-scale battle is about to break out, making it look like the end of the world is coming. Fortunately, while these mortals were discussing, Xingzong secretly stepped forward to suppress the rumors flying in the sky and blocked the news of the Star Sea demon tide from the mortal world. The main thing is to hide it if you can. Mortals don't have to worry about these things, they can just continue to do what they need to do and don't do their business. Chen Qingyun had been to Qingguang Island before and knew the location of the teleportation array here, so he took everyone there. Different from the past, this time there were 6 star sect monks stationed around the teleportation array, doubling the number before. A large number of spiritual stones are accumulated around the teleportation array, replenishing energy for the teleportation array at any time. While maintaining order, the star sect monks also performed the task of guarding the teleportation array to prevent transformed monsters from sneaking in and destroying the teleportation array. For this reason, there are always strong men from the star sect guarding each teleportation array. Chen Qingyun secretly paid attention and caught a few glimpses of 2 old men not far away, sitting cross-legged with their eyes closed and concentrating. Judging from the faint cultivation aura emanating from the other party, he has at least reached the Xifu stage. Here on Qingguang Island, the Qing sect is probably on tight guard, so it is not surprising that a golden core cultivator appears. What's more like the teleportation array on the other side of the alien sea. The major teleportation arrays are jointly guarded by monks from the 4 major sects and strong men from the star sect. At least when it comes to the teleportation array, there is absolutely no room for error. Name, origin. When Chen Qingyun and others were in line, the Qing sect monk in charge of registration asked, "I am Chen Xianming, the head of the Chen family in Xingsha Islands. These are my descendants." Chen Xianming briefly introduced. Hearing this, the Qing sect monk in charge of registration raised his eyes and looked at Chen Xianming and others. The Chen family in Xingsha Islands is probably the family where Chen Qingyun was born. Exactly. Chen Xianming nodded. Well, the Chen family of Lingjian Island is really a member of senior brother Qingguang's clan. Just a quick check-in, let's go in. Knowing that they were family monks participating in the battle, several Star Sect monks smiled slightly and guided them into the teleportation array. A few years ago, with the death of Master Mo, Chen Qingyun was no longer protected by his master, and his fellow disciples broke up. As a result, Chen Qingyun's status within the sect dropped sharply, and his status was no different from that of an outside disciple. But now things have changed. Since more than 3 months ago, he relied on the 10,000 sect contribution points he had accumulated to exchange for a foundation building pill and retreated for half a month. After the foundation building was successful, he quickly stood out among his peers and attracted much attention. It is rumored Ancestor Hongling, the 8th elder of Qing sect, intends to recruit him as his direct disciple. After this battle is over, Chen Qingyun will be summoned to become his disciple. This news was revealed by Bai Yining, the eldest disciple of Ancestor Hongling. After the sect was passed on, the Hongling ancestor did not come forward to deny it. This shows the authenticity of this news. This made Chen Qingyun attract the attention of many fellow students. However, the news is not 100% certain yet. Chen Qingyun has not told his family yet, but he also wants to give his family a surprise. It's no wonder that these Qing sect disciples' attitudes toward Chen Qingyun have changed. He was polite to Chen Qingyun and others, obviously intending to close the distance. Is Qingyun so famous now? Seeing several Star Sect monks mentioning Chen Qingyun with admiration on their faces, Chen Qingyun and others looked at each other. It seems that Chen Qingyun is not unknown in Xingzong now, but is still somewhat famous. This kid didn't spend time in Xingzong in vain. It is estimated that after building the foundation, his status has improved. With emotion in their hearts, several people were invited to enter the teleportation array and wait. At this moment, there were still more than a dozen casual cultivators in the formation, each standing separately. After learning that they were going to participate in the battle, they looked back and forth, smiling and nodding and greeting from time to time. From 2 months ago, as long as the monks who participated in the battle and were registered with the Star Sect, they could take the teleportation array to and from the inner and outer star seas for free. What is worth mentioning is that in order to allow the monks in the inner star sea to proactively go to the outer star sea, Xingzong specially issued a new rule that all teleportation arrays in the inner star sea will not charge any fees since 2 months ago. But unlike the monks who participated in the expedition, if you want to be sent to the outer star sea and then teleported back to the inner star sea, you have to pay according to the original price. In other words, there is no charge for one-way teleportation to the outer star sea. You have to pay for teleporting back. After this new rule came out, it has achieved good results. In order to save spirit stones, many casual cultivators took this opportunity to go to the outer star sea to hunt monsters, which more or less played a role in clearing monsters. The sky and the earth were spinning in front of me, but the scene of the world changed drastically between Xumi. There was a bustling crowd around. Many family cultivators and casual cultivators gathered around the teleportation array. Among the few people, Chen Qingyun and Chen Qingyun were both visiting Qinglan Island for the first time and were full of curiosity about this place. At the suggestion of Chen Qingyun, the few people first wandered around the Yunnan market to see if there was anything they wanted to buy. After a few hours, Chen Xianmin and his companions bought some medicine and materials, and then followed Chen Qingyun to Jianyuan Island by boat. Jianyuan Island is a second-level spiritual island in the outer sea, which is under the jurisdiction of Xingzong. It is one of the several spiritual islands ruled by Xingzong in the outer sea area. The island is not under the jurisdiction of the 4 major sects of Wuan Island. There is no market, only a town for cultivators for temporary residence. A second-level upper-grade illusion formation is arranged here, which hides the entire island all year round and is not open to the public. Only when the monsters of the Star Sea come, Jianyuan Island will open to the world and be used as a strategic place. After sailing on the sea for 3 days, everyone arrived at Jianyuan Island. Chapter 241, Rewards for War Merits. Dozens of ships have already docked at Jianyuan Island Pier. They have different shapes and look jewel-like and luxurious. Among them are many large ships of the Star Sect, with luxurious and brilliant shapes, which are extremely eye-catching. At this time, There were more than a dozen Star Sect monks stationed at the pier, responsible for guarding the ships and bringing many monks to stay on the island temporarily. The person responsible for receiving them was a Qing sect monk named Li Yushu. After learning about the origins of Chen Qingyun and others, Li Yushu claimed to be a close friend of Chen Qingfeng's family and behaved enthusiastically without any arrogance. "What a coincidence! I didn't expect that you are actually Uncle Chen's tribe. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please come with me. I will take you to repair it first. You will stay here temporarily for the next few days, waiting for the mission assignment," Li Yushu said with a smile, taking the initiative to lead the way. After a Star Sect disciple succeeds in establishing a foundation, as his status improves, disciples below the foundation establishment stage have to change their address to respectfully address him as Master Uncle when meeting them. No wonder Li Yushu would be extremely enthusiastic about Chen Qingyun and others. First, when he was in the sect, he was occasionally taken care of by Chen Qingfeng, and he knew how to be grateful. Nowadays, Chen Qingfeng's strength has greatly improved and he has reached the foundation building stage. Naturally, he is much more respectful and deserves more efforts to win over him. From now on, if the other party really becomes the direct disciple of Hongling ancestor, his future achievements will at least be at the Zaifu stage. Not only must we not offend, we must hold our thighs tightly. It turns out that Qingfeng's good friend, that boy of mine, has caused you a lot of trouble. Chen Xianmin didn't know what Li Yushu was thinking, so he responded politely. "No, Senior, I'm joking. Uncle Qingfeng takes good care of us, but it's easy for us to cause him trouble." Li Yushu waved his hand and said, "Haha, I'm here for the first time, so I'll ask fellow Taoist Li to lead the way." Chen Xianmin smiled lightly. Immediately afterwards, everyone followed Li Yushu and asked about the situation on the front-line battlefield, so that they had a good idea. Li Yushu had nothing to hide and told the truth. Nowadays, the number of monks gathered here on Hunyuan Island has reached at least tens of thousands. Except for the more than 300 Star Sect monks, the rest are the gathered family monks and many casual cultivators. As a gathering place, the base camp for this time's fight against the Beast Tide, Hunyuan Island is located in the outer area of the Outer Star Sea, and is only separated by more than 100,000 miles from the Sea of 10,000 Monsters. Even so, this is not the front line of the battle. Going south along Hunyuan Island, over a distance of 80 or 90,000 miles, there are many scattered islands, which are the real front-line battlefields. There are more than 30 immortal cultivating families including the Chen family. In the next half-month, it will be unified and integrated with the disciples of Qing sect, Yaoang Mountain, and Lingbao Mountain as required. Teams were gradually formed and assigned to fight on the front lines and set up defenses. Because the total size of the Star Sea is close to a perfect circle, the Beast Tide gathered does not only come from one direction. Instead, it came from all directions, like a whirlpool, shrinking the surrounding seawater and sweeping it in. The Sea of Stars is this whirlpool, and those tens of thousands of monsters are the endless stream of seawater. Therefore, geographically speaking, Xingzong is located in the center of Xinghai, followed by Wuan Island, Chonglu, Yaoang Mountain, and Lingbao Mountain. The four major sects are located in the southeast and northwest of Xinghai. From a geographical point of view, no matter which area the monster beasts attack the Xinghai from, it will be easier for the four major sects to send out troops to resist. Star Sect can also serve as a powerful backup, teleporting strong men to support. The Chen family was called here together, obviously to guard the southern area of Xinghai. The rest of the positions are left to other family forces and sects to deal with. The Chen family stayed at Hunyuan Island and rested for a few days. During this period, Li Yushu distributed a battle manual to each of Chen Qingyun. The manual records several rules for participating in the war. For example, they are not allowed to fight each other or fight within themselves. Discipline must not be violated. No collusion with monsters, etc. If a few rules are violated, the person will be killed on the spot, or the family will be harmed in the worst case. Everyone thinks these rules are reasonable and reasonable. In itself, Fighting against the demonic tide is no child's play. Naturally, it is necessary to establish rules and regulations to facilitate management and unite with the outside world. It is worth mentioning that the battle manual details the division of battle rewards. Participating in the Star Sect's battle is, on the one hand, fulfilling the great responsibility of protecting the Star Seed. On the other hand, there are rewards for joining the war. There are 2 rewards. The first item is that any participant can go to Xingzong to receive a reward of 1000 spirit stones after the battle. The second item is to kill monsters and gain military merit. Using military exploits, you can go to Star Sect to exchange for various training resources. 1000 spirit stones, 100,000 monks. When seeing these 2 rewards, Chen Qingyun was attracted by the first one first and couldn't help mumbling to himself. It has to be said that he was slightly shocked by this astronomical spiritual stone reward. Because, this time alone is the spiritual stone reward. 100,000 people participate, and each person will be rewarded with 1000 spiritual stones. The Star Sect would need to consume at least hundreds of millions of spiritual stones. There are so many spirit stones, but Chen Qingyun has no specific concept in his mind. But think about it carefully. Xingzong has ruled the Xinghai for more than 1,000 years, and the wealth accumulated must be astonishing. As the party that contributed the most money this time. Hundreds of millions of spirit stones may not be enough to hurt Xingzong. Xingzong has more than a dozen chambers of commerce. Let's not talk about how much wealth it has earned since its development. From another perspective, judging from the recent situation where 100,000 cultivators have purchased combat supplies and stimulated consumption. The income Xingzong has gained from this is not a small amount. In addition, the 4 sects such as Wuan Island have also contributed money and effort and will share some expenses. For example, Yaoang Mountain supports elixirs. Lingbao Mountain supports magic tools. Only Xingzong can have such a strong appeal to call together the sect and many families and independent cultivators to fight for the protection of the Star Seed. As for the second item, the reward system for war merit. This is calculated by killing monsters. Killing a first-level monster can get 10 points of war merit. Second-level monsters are 100 points. Third-level monsters are 1000 points. Using these war merits, you can exchange for various resources you want in Xingzong. For example, 10,000 combat merits can be exchanged for foundation building pills. 100,000 combat merits can be exchanged for purple palace crystals, and so on. The resources that can be exchanged can be said to be dazzling, and everything is available. If the cultivation resources you want are not available in Xingzong, then it is not certain that they will be available in the entire Xinghai. Therefore, this combat merit reward system is the most attractive part. 10,000 combat merits can be exchanged for a foundation building pill, which is great. I must work hard in this campaign and strive to get a foundation building pill. Chen Qingyun's beautiful eyes were full of light, and she was most interested in the foundation building pill. Chapter 242 Family Advantage. In the battle manual, the exchange prices of some best-selling resources are simply marked. For example, there are chi refining pills, purple chi enveloping pills, soaring dragon pills, second-level magic weapons, etc., and even talismans. These resources are equivalent to the market price, and there is no premium issue. However, because the quantity is limited, it is only on a first-come, first-served basis. Anyone can guess that it is impossible for the Star Sect to refine 100,000 of the Foundation Establishment pills. It would be nice to have 1,000 Foundation Establishment pills available for redemption. The same goes for talismans. There are probably only a few dozen of them. You can try to obtain the Foundation Establishment pill. Qingyun and I can work hard on this Zaifu crystal. Chen Xianmin said with a smile. Unexpectedly, with this operation, there is a way to obtain the Zaifu crystal. Such treasures of heaven and earth have not appeared in Hia, Xinglin, Yishidao and other cities for several years. As expected of the Star Sect. There is also a collection of Zaifu crystal. I also want this foundation building pill. Lu Qingfeng said, with a look of confusion on his face. But it requires 10,000 points of battle merit, A full 10,000 points. That means I have to kill 1,000 first-level monsters. How can I kill so many? Hey, you can't be smarter. Chen Daohai glared at Chen Qingyun and asked, who stipulated that you can only use your own battle points to exchange for foundation building pills. If you can't use your own, you can also use other people's military exploits. When Lu Qingfeng heard this, he looked stunned and subconsciously looked at Li Yushu. Li Yushu smiled and didn't speak, but nodded slowly. It's really okay. When Chen Qingyun saw this, he suddenly understood. He slapped his thigh and said, yes, there are 9 people in our family participating. We can gather together to do big things. Looking at the conversation between the two and Li Yushu's reaction, Chen Qingyun and others immediately understood. According to the rules for obtaining military merit, demon pills must be used as the only proof. It is precisely because of this that the cultivating families participating in the war have a natural advantage. Work together to accomplish great things. Just as Chen Qingyun said, he wanted to kill 1,000 first-level monsters by himself and earn 10,000 combat points. How long will it last? What kind of danger will he go through? If you encounter a few first-order peak monsters and second-order monsters, you will have something to play with. But what are the advantages of a cultivating family compared to sect monks and casual cultivators? The most intuitive point is that there is family cohesion. Because of the blood connection, we can work together and stick together. Thinking of this and understanding what Chen Daohai meant, Chen Xianmin smiled and spoke. Daohai still sees things most clearly. There are a total of 9 people in our family participating. As long as each of them obtains demon elixirs worth 1,002 points of combat merit, then we will allocate them to one person to obtain combat merit. You've got these 10,000 battle merit points for sure, and you can still have some left over when you exchange them for the foundation establishment pill. Yes, that's what I mean. Chen Daohai nodded heavily. Qingyun, Dalin, Daoran, and the clan leader and I are all in the foundation building stage. We can focus on hunting second-level monsters. Each one can equal 100 combat merits. This profit is quite considerable. I believe that as long as we work hard, it won't be a problem to redeem a few foundation establishment pills. As soon as Chen Daohai finished speaking, Chen Daoran nodded slowly and was already gearing up. Chen Qingyun and the others who had not established a foundation were secretly looking forward to it. The Chen family can completely use this opportunity to greatly improve the family's heritage, obtain a few more foundation building pills, and create several foundation building monks. As for the exchange of the purple mansion crystal, Chen Xianmin didn't have any big ideas. 100,000 battle merit means that each of them has to obtain more than 10,000 battle merit, which is not easy to fight. Chen Qingyun has a puppet by his side, so he is the only one who has the opportunity to impact this combat merit value. Thinking of this, the old patriarch looked at Chen Qingyun and saw Chen Qingyun looking down at the battle manual. His eyes focused on the exchange price of the purple mansion crystal. The foundation establishment pill, the crystal of purple mansion. Chen Qingyun murmured secretly. He wanted both. The former is fought for by the family. The latter, whether for yourself or the old patriarch, is a steady way to enter the Zaifu stage. To say that I am not moved would be a lie. Moreover, there is no conflict between killing a large number of monsters and practicing the Great Wilderness Demon Swallowing technique and accumulating military merit. According to the rules of the Star Sect, the monks who participated in the war used the demon pill as a voucher to exchange for battle merit. Xingzong will not recycle demon pills. On the one hand, this is to facilitate the recording of how many monsters were eliminated in the final battle. On the other hand, it provides combat benefits to many monks. When you fight your monsters, you are fulfilling the righteous duty of guarding the Sea of Stars. I can give you this demon elixir and military exploits. With such benefits and blessings, it's no wonder that more than 30,000 casual practitioners have signed up to participate. This is an excellent opportunity to soar into the sky. Chen Qingyun has strong expectations for the upcoming first combat mission. Soon, Everyone settled on the island under Li Yushu's arrangement. In the next few days, battle reports from the front line came one after another, and the fighting became more and more intense. During the Chen family's renovation, on the front line, the Star Sect had been fighting against the Beast Tide. There are 16 strategic islands in the southern area of Xinghai. Beast attacks occurred on every island. Basically, there were monster attacks every day. In previous years, the front-line troops could rest every few days, and the monsters would not attack every day. This time, the situation was very different. Not only did the number of beasts increase a lot, moreover, the proportion of second-level monsters increased. Third-level monsters have appeared, leading groups of monsters to attack islands and fight against human monks. The high-level officials of the Star Sect can clearly feel that this time, the Star Sea monster tide is more intense and difficult than any previous years. This is probably a protracted war. The vast number of monsters, relying on the advantage of numbers and the natural marine activity environment, constantly impacted the Star Sea defense line and eroded the Star Sect monks. This is just the information from the southern theater. In addition, the battle situation in the east, west and north is basically the same. Most of them are commanded by the Star Sect, leading the Wuan Island, Chanlu and other sects and families to set up defense lines. Or simply take the initiative to attack and wipe out the monsters. For the Xinghai Zhuxian world, this is a defensive battle. Once Xinghai falls, the Xinghai Zhuxian world will be plunged into dire straits, and everywhere will be shrouded in the thick fog of war. At that time, there will be no peace. The cultivators can hardly protect themselves, not to mention the tens of millions of mortals. Due to the urgency of the war, gunpowder smoke rose everywhere. Soon the Chen family, together with more than a dozen families on Hunyuan Island, were organized into large and small teams and sent to the front line to resist the enemy. Chapter 243 First Mission, Red Tooth Island. The 9 people of the Chen family, together with the Liu family and the Zhu family, formed a team of 100 people, led by Chen Xianming, to garrison a small spiritual island on the front line. This island is called Hongya Island, located on the edge of the Alien Sea, and is separated from the Wanyao Sea by 80,000 to 90,000 miles. It is named because its appearance resembles a red sharp tooth. At the same time, this is also a strategic island, on which a batch of combat supplies are stored. Chen Xianming and others will unite with the Lingbao mountain monks on the island and the Yishi Island cultivators to garrison here together. After learning about the situation of this first mission, Chen Qingyun couldn't help but feel puzzled. As a strategic place for storing combat supplies. Since you want to send people to reinforce the garrison, you should also send more people. This time, they will send their team of 100 people. The highest cultivation in the team is still him and Chen Xianming. There is no purple mansion monk in charge. What is this operation? Is it to serve as cannon fodder? Or is the task itself very simple, and a team of 100 people is enough to reinforce? Not only Chen Qingyun had this doubt in his mind, but Chen Xianming and others also felt it was unusual. For this reason, Chen Xianming specifically asked Li Yushu before setting off. What is the current situation of Hongya Island? Is there any new battle report? If this mission is really too dangerous, it is definitely not possible to ask Xingzong to temporarily change the mission. If everyone does this, there will be no discipline. Will the battle still be fought? However, knowing yourself and the enemy will help you win every battle, and you will have a bottom line in your heart. You must ask. When I learned about this mission, I took the mission list and looked at it for a while. Li Yushu frowned at first, but soon relaxed and said with a smile, "No problem, no problem, Hongya Island is fine. Although, there are only 400 fellow Taoists stationed there, most of them are independent cultivators. But, there are more than a dozen foundation-building cultivators from Lingbao Mountain who can set up formations to defend against the enemy. These days, there has been no news that the battle situation there is difficult. This mission, I think, is just for you to go through the motions first and adapt to it. It's not difficult. Master Baiyu arranges the team reasonably according to the battle situation in various places, and will try to avoid the problem of uneven combat power. You can rest assured. Li Yushu expressed his guest. He also informed in detail that Master Bai is one of the commanders of the Southern War Zone, responsible for planning tasks for the cultivators gathered on Jianyuan Island. This person has always been known for his rigor and fairness, and he acts calmly. He will not do anything to cheat for personal gain or target other cultivators. After understanding the situation, Chen Qingyun and others had no objection. On the second day, they gathered with the cultivators of the Liu and Zhu families and set off on the warship of Xingzong. The Liu family sent a total of 349 cultivators this time, led by 3 Purple Mansion cultivators. They were divided into 2 teams. One team, led by Purple Mansion cultivators, went to the front line area to fight. The other 62 people were assigned to this team, including 3 Foundation Establishment cultivators. The leader was a Foundation Establishment mid-stage cultivator named Liu Heqing. This Liu family was the family where Liu Zilin was born. The other Zhu family was the Zhu family of Qingguang Mountain, a famous beast control family in Xingsha Islands. The leader, Chen Qingyun, had some impression of, was Zhu Guangshu. The one he had seen at the auction on Yishi Island, now had reached the late Foundation Establishment stage. There were 3 Foundation Establishment cultivators in the Liu family, 1 in the Zhu family, and 5 in the Chen family. The rest were all Qi refining cultivators. During the trip, the 3 cultivators began to get familiar with each other and understand each other's strengths. The Chen family and the Zhu family already had a relationship, and the 2 sides were polite and joking. Chen Xianmin was also familiar with Zhu Guangshu. After all, he was assigned by the family to learn the art of beast control at the Zhu family. Although he only learned the basics. But after 3 years of contact with the Zhu family cultivators, he not only gained a fangirl from the Zhu family, but also got along well with several of the Zhu family's leaders. This Zhu Guangshu was one of his good friends back then. The 2 met and were in the same team, so naturally they had a lot to say, and the atmosphere seemed very harmonious. If you don't know, you would think they were going on a trip. This team of 100 people arrived at Hunyuan Island 3 days later. The first impression of arriving at this island was that it was deserted. When landing on the island, not only was there no cultivator to greet them, but there was not even a shadow of a cultivator. If the Xingzong cultivator who was driving the boat hadn't stated that this was the destination and they were not in the wrong place, everyone would have thought they were going to rest halfway. After the warships went far away, everyone explored the island and finally found traces of more than a dozen cultivators. The leader called himself Qin Xiang, a cultivator from Lingbao Mountain, with a late foundation building cultivation. He and 2 fellow disciples in the foundation building stage, and 50 disciples from the sect were stationed here. The remaining more than 300 people went to the southern part of Hunyuan Island to clear a group of monsters, about 400 in number. After learning about the strength of the Chen family's team, Qin Xiang looked at Chen Qingyun in surprise. A cultivator at the peak of foundation building in his 20s. This advancement speed is amazing. It's a pity that he didn't meet a good opportunity, and happened to encounter the Xingzong expedition, and was summoned here to fight to the death. Otherwise, if he practiced steadily for 20 to 30 years, he would definitely be able to enter the Purple Mansion stage. The young cultivators of the family who lack combat experience are afraid that they will die here prematurely, which is a pity. Qin Xiang sighed in his heart, and helped everyone settle down here, and began to tell them about some of the situation here. As a strategic island, there will be a group of monsters attacking here every 4 or 5 days. Recently, because there are too many monsters gathering within the surrounding 10,000 miles, the attacks have become more frequent. This is why we need reinforcements. When the surrounding islands need supplies, they all come here to get them according to the instructions of Xingzong. The garrison mission is very leisurely. In the first 2 days, everyone had nothing to do, so they simply passed the time by practicing. Until the 3rd day, Qin Xiang received accurate news from his fellow disciples on the front line. Nearly 1,000 monsters are rushing towards Jianyuan Island, reminding them to be prepared and to counter them. After Qin Xiang received this news, He immediately notified Chen Xianming and another leader of the scattered cultivators to discuss countermeasures together. Upon learning the scale of the monster group, Chen Xianming showed a cherished look and asked, "If most of them are first-level monsters, it's not difficult to clear them out. It mainly depends on how many second-level monsters there are." "Yes, nearly 1,000 first-level monsters are not a big threat. We can eliminate them with a little effort and get more military merits," the leader of the casual cultivators said with a smile. "This man is called Li Xinyuan, who is in the late stage of foundation building. He comes from Yishi Island and has a great reputation in the local casual cultivator community. He is the leader of the more than 200 casual cultivators on the island." Qin Xiang reviewed the news and said solemnly, "According to the news from my fellow disciple, this batch of beasts includes 32 second-level monsters such as blue water snakes, lightning eels, and double-eyed black eagles. The rest are all first-level monsters that are not worth much." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 244, Not Favored. Take the initiative. There are 32 second-level monsters. Li Xinyuan was stunned when he heard this, and said solemnly, "As far as I know, the double-eyed black eagle in adulthood can rival a peak foundation building monk. The blue water snake is not weak either. It is second only to the double-eyed black eagle. It is also difficult to deal with. This wave of monster beasts is a bit tricky. Yes, there are at least this number of second-order monsters. There should be other hidden second-order monsters. Their strength should not be underestimated." Qin Xiang nodded and continued to add, "So, we have to discuss countermeasures and try to kill them before they arrive at Hunyuan Island. The supplies on the island must not be lost." Chen Xianming frowned, glanced at Qin Xiang and Li Xinyuan, and said, "With all due respect, you two are both in the late stage of foundation building. With a few hand-holding weapons, it will not be a problem to deal with the monsters at the peak of foundation building. We can indeed fight." Li Xinyuan was the first to respond, with a somewhat proud look on his face. "To be honest, I have a Wind Qingguang in my hand. Even if I can't defeat him, I can still escape with my life easily. The speed may not be inferior to those monster beasts. Coupled with my red flame flying sword, ordinary second-level monsters are definitely no match for me. I have this confidence." As soon as Li Xinyuan said this, several casual cultivators around him nodded secretly. They had seen Li Xinyuan carrying Wind Qingguangs on his back and holding a red flame flying sword to kill 2 late-stage foundation building monsters. He does have the ability to compete with the peak foundation building monsters. If you want to serve as the leader of this group of more than 300 casual cultivators, you naturally need to have 2 brushes. Don't look at the loose cultivators' combat capabilities and lack of cohesion. The techniques and magical weapons are also different. Some are high and some are low, resulting in huge differences in strength. But the combat effectiveness of this group of casual cultivators is still good, and there are 3 foundation building cultivators among them. With Li Xinyuan taking the lead, there is indeed a great chance of winning against 1 or 2 foundation building peak monsters. It's good that fellow Taoist Li has this confidence. If I take action, it won't be a problem to fight a peak foundation building monster alone. Qin Xiang looked serious, staring at Chen Xianming, then at Chen Qingyun, Chen Douhai and several foundation building monks, showing a bit of worry. "Fellow Taoists of the Chen family, it is mainly you who are sure to deal with these second-level monsters. If you underestimate the enemy and are besieged by the monsters, you will be in trouble. Many of the recent monster beast races are birds, and a small number of them can even go up to the sky and into the sea, which is quite tricky. I see that when you first arrive, you will face a group of monsters of this level. It will probably be a bit difficult to deal with them. The meaning of Qin Ziyang's words was that he was somewhat worried that Chen Qingyun and the others would find him useless. He only had a level of cultivation, and when it came to fighting, he was only half as good as a bucket of water. In his opinion, the combat effectiveness of the monks in this family was much lower than that of casual cultivators of the same level, and they lacked fighting experience. They are like flowers in a greenhouse. How can they fight against this level of monsters? When the time comes, it would be nice not to hold them back. After hearing Qin Ziyang's words, Zhu Guangshu's eyes narrowed slightly and he glanced at Qin Ziyang with a frown. How could this leading monk of Lingbaoshan have any intention of targeting the family monks? It was impossible for him not to see that among the monks of the Chen family, Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming had reached the peak of the foundation building stage. With such strength, would it be impossible to deal with those second-level monsters? Let's not talk about Chen Qingyun for now. He is not familiar yet. But he still understands Chen Xianming. He is calm and sophisticated, and he must have a lot of trump cards in his hands. Strength is definitely not as simple as it seems. This is a character who likes to act like a pig and eat the tiger. At this moment, it was actually being looked down upon. Chen Xianming was so shrewd that he couldn't understand the meaning of Qin Ziyang's words, so he raised his eyebrows. It's okay, fellow Taoist. Qin is worrying too much. He shook his head slowly and said firmly, "With me here, as long as the third-level monsters don't take action, it won't be difficult to protect our people. When it comes to killing more than a dozen second-level monsters, I'm still somewhat confident." Speaking of this, Chen Xianming looked sideways at Chen Qingyun. "Qingyun, what do you think?" Everyone's eyes fell on Chen Qingyun. Sensing Chen Xianming's attitude towards him, Qin Ziyang and Li Xinyuan both became curious. This peak foundation building monk of the Chen family is so young. He looks to be in his early 20s. He probably relies on his cultivation by taking pills. If this person really goes to the battlefield and is attacked by many monsters, can he cope with it? On the battlefield, a monk's combat experience is most tested. Life or death can often be decided in 1 or 2 breaths. Is he reliable? You can take action. There is no problem on my side. Chen Qingyun replied seriously and nodded quickly, not caring at all about the questioning looks from Qin Ziyang and others. 32 second-level monsters, to put it bluntly, even though some of them are at the peak of the foundation building stage. Even if he didn't use the 5 elements to attack them, he would be sure to kill them all. Occupying an overwhelming advantage. If a Xifu monster really comes, it can be easily wiped out by using the sea overturning ruler without hesitation. Now. The reason for participating in the deliberations. They just want to cooperate with the team in fighting so that the family can work hand in hand with Qin Ziyang and others without causing any estrangement or internal strife. After all, according to this mission, he will be stationed on Red Fang Island with them for the next 3 months. We'll meet each other sooner or later, so there's no need to make things awkward right from the start. My friend, you have great courage. I hope so. Qin Ziyang narrowed his eyes when he heard this, and said no more. Chen Qingyun secretly glanced at Qin Ziyang, feeling a little aggrieved for Chen Qingyun. What does it mean to have great courage? Have you ever seen Qingyun take action? 100 Qin Ziyangs would have been blown away by you. Chen Xianming also noticed Qin Ziyang's strange look, and was too lazy to explain anything, so he turned to look at Zhu Guangshu. Zhu, Deu, it seems that we have to work together again. Our 2 families will need to take care of each other. Ha ha ha, very good, very good. Zhu Guangshu laughed, without any nervousness on his face. He felt that with the Chen family's participation this time, the operation would definitely be easier. Liu Heqing, the leader of the Liu family, did not speak from beginning to end, and the decision was entirely based on the discussion of Chen Xianming and others. All the Liu family had to do was follow the orders. After a quick discussion, 2 foundation-building monks from Lingbao Mountain were left behind, and some troops were stationed there. The Chen family, together with Qin Ziyang and other monks, launched a thunderous attack, and boarded a large warship together, heading towards the southern part of Hunyuan Island. They had to take the initiative to attack, meet the group of monsters, and start a head-on battle. A total of 18 foundation-building monks were dispatched, leading 400 qi refining monks. More than 2 hours later, they met the group of monsters in the sea area 30,000 miles south of Hongya Island. Chapter 245 showing off 1 and number 039 abilities. A large number of monsters are galloping in the sea, breaking through the waves and releasing rolling waves, surging into layers of waves. Above the group of monster beasts, in the air, there are more than a dozen kinds of monster birds flying in the sky, flapping their wings, each one looking more fierce than the other. When Chen Qingyun approached this group of monsters, he had already deployed his spiritual consciousness to investigate. He discovered that there were indeed 3 second-level monsters hiding, and their strength had reached the late stage of foundation building. There are 35 monsters in total, and none of them are at the peak of the foundation establishment stage. Can a beast type of this level pose a threat to me? Obviously not. When Chen Qingyun took out the 1000-star Demon Slayer sword and prepared to take action. Chen Xianming, Chen Daoran and several other foundation builders beside him also used their spiritual consciousness to investigate. After figuring out the specific strength of this group of monster beasts, Chen Xianming used the fiery sky sword and took the lead in saying, "Everyone, please take action." "That's exactly what I meant." Li Xinyuan responded loudly, calling for the casual cultivators around him to take action. Qin Xiang's eyes flashed. He glanced at the dozens of fellow disciples around him, nodded slowly, and conveyed the order to take action. Immediately afterwards, he did not forget to look at everyone in the Chen family. When he looked at Chen Daoran and the 3 foundation builders, he obviously didn't care. When his eyes fell on Chen Qingyun, he paused, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, which contained a hint of wanting to watch a good show. Noticing Qin Xiang's expression, Chen Qingyun ignored it and quickly locked onto his opponent. It was a huge silver-white electric eel wandering in the sea. "Kill on the warship!" Shouts erupted. Dozens of monks activated their magic weapons, rose into the air, and took the initiative to kill the monsters. In their opinion, these monsters all have different amounts of merit points. If he didn't kill him at this time, he would have to hand over his military exploits to others. Over there, the human monks were seen charging towards them. The 2-eyed black eagle headed by them was filled with murderous intent and drove his men to launch an offensive. As the first flying sword struck into the sea and successfully killed the first monster, the battle between the 2 sides completely started, which seemed extremely fierce. Li Xinyuan spread the Wind King's wings behind his back, activated the red flame flying sword, and faced the double-eyed black eagle alone. Quite a bit like catching the thief first and capturing the king first. Qin Xiang's attack was equally decisive. Using the Yin Gang Huan, he directly engaged the second-level middle-grade purple fire eagle. The remaining second-level monsters were locked by Chen Daoran, Lingba Oshad Foundation Architect and others, and a fierce battle broke out. The fiery heavenly sword in Chen Xianming's hand moved in the air. The chosen opponent was a blue water snake in the late stage of foundation building. He directly activated the heavenly sword and killed it. The other monks of the Chen family, Chen Qingyun, Chen Qingyun and others, all knew that their strength was limited and went to clean up those first-order monsters. Focusing on the movements of his clansmen, Chen Qingyun focused his eyes, and the air-drifting boat under his feet roared up with him, rising above the thunder and lightning moray eels. This thunder eel is at the peak of the late stage of foundation building, and there are already faint signs of breakthrough. Its strength is somewhat stronger than the double-eyed black eagle. Chen Qingyun's long hair danced, and his robe made no sound in the wind. After using the 1000 Stars sword technique, the 1000 Stars demon slaying sword brewed an attack, shining brightly with the sword light, and the surrounding world lit up. The thunder eel is 16 to 70 feet long, as thick as a bucket, and is inconspicuous among the monster beasts. It circled and swam in the sea, its back body exposed from the sea, and you could see the power of thunder flowing through its body. This makes it so that within 10 meters of it, no monster dares to approach, and they all stay away from it. This monster is good at attacking with thunder and is extremely fast. When it saw the 1000 Star demon slaying sword falling, It didn't even dodge. It poked its head out from the sea and opened its huge mouth. The strong and violent power of thunder and lightning was brewing in its mouth, with a sizzling light of lightning and the sound of thunderstorms. Silver light converged in its large mouth, like a blazing sun. This is the Thunder Moray signature move. A seemingly simple thunder and lightning attack contains such power that it can shatter even an ordinary second-level magic weapon. Several casual cultivators around saw the lightning moray eel launching an attack, and they all stayed away for fear of being harmed. When they saw that Chen Qingyun was regarded as prey by the other party, they couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. This monk from the Chen family is afraid that he will be the first to fall here. It's hard to choose an opponent, but I have to face the Thunder Moray eel. Hey, you are so young and energetic. Not far away, Qinguang couldn't help but sigh when he saw that Chen Qingyun refused to pick the weak second-level monster and insisted on choosing the Thunder eel. Being so young, frivolous and ignorant of propriety, I'm afraid I will suffer a big loss. Whoops. At this moment, a thunder and lightning the size of a thumb, containing explosive energy, burst out and hit Chen Qingyun. Facing the incoming thunder and lightning, Chen Qingyun's eyes narrowed slightly, and he was already prepared for it. The red scale flying shield flew out and expanded into 9 red shields, surrounding the body, superimposing layers of defense. There was a roar of thunder and lightning, hitting a shield firmly and being firmly blocked. Boom. Several more bolts of thunder and lightning were spat out from the mouth of the thunder eel, and a terrifying tear erupted, hitting Chen Qingyun with violent force. This time, while Chen Qingyun was on defense, his sword move Demon Killing was ready to go. As he stretched out his hand, the 1000-star demon-slaying sword suddenly slashed out with strong sword power. The thunder and lightning was still coming quickly. The 1000-star demon-slaying sword was unparalleled in strength and was the first to be hit by lightning. The entire sword only trembled slightly for a few times but remained unscathed. At the extreme speed, the 1000-star demon slayer sword was more like thunder in the clouds, wrapped in brilliant light, and cut the lightning eel with one sword. Hiss. The lightning eel was severely injured, and a huge wound was cut out, and it screamed in pain. After being hit by this sword, it fled in shock and anger, and did not want to be an enemy of Chen Qingyun anymore. Taking this opportunity, Chen Qingyun looked cold and recalled the 1000-star demon slayer sword, and waved his hand. The flying knife of the void flying sword flew out of his hand, showing a white glow, and approached in the blink of an eye. The lightning eel was defeated and did not dare to fight hard again, so he simply chose to withdraw and dodge. Its body waved in the sea and fled into the sea. Chen Qingyun made 2 shots and launched continuous attacks. Seeing that the opponent was about to escape, the flying knife of the void flying knife chased down and fell into the sea at a high speed. At the same time he had expected it. An icy blue light flashed in his palm. Silently. A dry dark ice fire fell into the sea. Under the strong cold power of ice. With the lightning eel as the center, the seawater within a radius of 100 feet dropped rapidly and condensed into ice. No matter how fast the lightning eel escaped, it was not faster than the speed of the dry dark ice fire freezing the seawater. In an instant, the surrounding seawater was frozen and turned into a crystal-clear ice sculpture. Chen Qingyun saw this opportunity and made another decisive move. The flying knife of Zhuxiantu slashed fiercely, cutting into the ice layer with incomparable accuracy, and cut off the head of the lightning eel. Chapter 246, 1 versus 100. After killing the opponent quickly, Chen Qingyun took out the Qingguang gourd and collected the ice and the lightning eel. He defeated the enemy very quickly this time. When he first prepared a killing sword, the red scale flying shield started to defend. Then he quickly slashed down with a sword move, and shook off the lightning attack. The power of the 1000-star demon slayer sword was not reduced, and the lightning eel was severely injured with one sword. Then, the opponent was frightened and retreated. And when he was escaping, a wisp of dry ice and fire went down, instantly freezing and trapping it. Finally, he used the flying knife of Zhuxiantu to show his power and beheaded it with one sword. The whole process took only a few breaths. Although the time was short, Qinguang saw it clearly. Really killed the lightning eel. This made Qinguang look shocked, and he really couldn't believe his eyes. How is this possible? That was a lightning eel comparable to the peak of foundation building. Qingguang was a little bit unbelievable. Even if he took action and used the second level top grade magic weapon to fight, he would not be able to kill it without hundreds of rounds. He even had a plan long ago, wanting the Chen family cultivators to suffer a loss here and learn some lessons. So that the Chen family would know that fighting here is not just about judging who is the most powerful based on the realm of cultivation. So what if you are at the peak of foundation building? If you can't kill a monster of the same level, you have to stay calm, stay out of the way, and listen to his orders more. However, the current situation is far beyond his expectations. Even he felt extremely daunted by the strength shown by Chen Qingyun. This lightning eel was killed so quickly? It was the young man of the king generation of the Chen family. At the same time, Zhu Guangshu, Yu Heqing, and Li Xinyuan all noticed Chen Qingyun's results. Among them, Zhu Guangshu showed appreciation and smiled. This young man of the Chen family is amazing. Without the threat of a lightning eel, they became much more relaxed in the battle, which was something to be happy about. With such a strong man joining forces, this demon eliminating operation became more confident. Not paying attention to the expressions of Qingguang and others, Chen Qingyun put away the Qian Kun gourd and looked at Chen Xianmin. Just then, the old patriarch controlled the fiery sky sword and had already firmly suppressed the Qingguang water snake. Several green vine-like attacks flew out from his sleeves, tightly wrapped around the Qingguang water snake, and pulled its upper body out of the sea. This is the second level top grade magic weapon. The soul binding vine. After injecting magic power, it can exert a force of 10,000 kilograms and easily bind and lift more than a dozen elephants. The next moment, with Chen Xianming's eyes flashing coldly, the fiery sky sword broke through the air and found the right opportunity to slash down. The Qingguang water snake was trying to dodge, but found that it was trapped by the soul-binding vine cast by Chen Xianming and could not escape the range of attack at all. In just a moment, before he could break free, he was hit by the fiery sky sword and his head was cut off. The roar of the demon snake stopped abruptly. First, he saw Chen Qingyun show his skills and kill the lightning sea eel alone. Now he saw Chen Xianming kill the blue water snake with his sword, which was also effortless. Qingguang widened his eyes and became speechless for a moment. So much so that he was distracted by the tentacles of a first-level sea octopus. With a scream, he was knocked into the sea. Uncle, Qin. Seeing this, several disciples of Lingbao Mountain shouted to rescue him. Chen Qingyun glanced in the direction of Qingguang, and before he could think of whether to rescue him, more than a dozen first-level monsters swept towards him. Flying in the sky, swimming in the sea, and even two second-level monsters joined the camp and surrounded Chen Qingyun. Recalling the flying sword of the void slashing, Chen Qingyun's expression condensed, and he raised his right hand to recall the Thousand Stars demon slaying sword. He took the initiative to fly into the sky above the monster tide, and when his true essence was surging, he performed sword moves to fight against the enemy on a large scale. With two divine sea blue lotus platforms as reserve mana, he would not be stingy in performing moves. The Thousand Stars demon slaying sword was divided into 9, and then divided from the 9 swords, turning into 999 fairy swords. Each sword was pointed downward, high above Chen Qingyun, and the murderous aura swept over. The Starlight Phantom Sword formation was instantly deployed, and the attack range covered reached a radius of 1,000 feet. More than 100 sea and land monsters were under the attack of the sword formation and were locked by the Phantom Fairy Sword. Deu, what are you doing? Get out of the way. Seeing that nearly 1,000 immortal swords were hanging in the air above and around them, full of murderous intent, ready to fall at any time, several casual cultivators looked nervous and quickly pulled away. They did not dare to delay, and were extremely afraid of being implicated. Chen Qingyun said nothing, his expression cold. Looking down at the group of monsters under him, he waved his hand, and 999 immortal swords burst out with brilliant sword energy, falling like rain. In an instant, It seemed that only the ferocious and roaring monsters and the brilliant immortal swords that fell from the sky and pierced the void were left in this world. Boom. At this moment, the magnificent sword formation and the monsters collided with the waves, making a huge roar. The demon birds flying in the air were killed first, and before they could escape, they were pierced by the immortal swords and fell into the sea with screams. Under the attack of this sword move, whether it was in the air or in the sea, first or second level, a large number of monsters were killed instantly. Their corpses floated out of the sea, and the sea water was dyed red with blood. A strong bloody smell spread out. Such a powerful attack, how could it be hidden from everyone's eyes and ears? What a powerful sword move! This fellow Taoist of the Chen family is really a person who can't be judged by appearance. What a Chen Qingyun! Zhu, Guangshu, Yu Heqing and others were all attracted. Seeing the results of Chen Qingyun's sword move, more than 100 monsters were floating on the sea, and they were amazed and sighed, and they couldn't help but feel a lot more relaxed. In just a moment, so many monsters were killed. If you don't see it with your own eyes, who can believe that this was done by Chen Qingyun alone? Qin Ziyang, who had been rescued from the sea and was wet on the flying magic weapon, was completely dumbfounded at this moment, and was deeply shocked by Chen Qingyun's strength. Because just now, several immortal swords fell on the side, less than a palm away. The sword power transmitted made him extremely afraid. He thought that if he faced it head-on, there would be absolutely no possibility of resistance. This young man from the Chen family is too amazing. According to his attack, this group of monsters is not enough for him to kill. I really underestimated him before, thinking that he was just a half-baked person and might not even be able to deal with a monster in the late stage of foundation building. Now I see that I was completely judging him by his own strength. The monsters were killed on such a large scale by Chen Qingyun, and the surviving monsters in the surrounding area were frightened and fled in all directions. Chapter 247, Gaining Military Merit. Chen Qingyun's expression was as usual, but his brows were slightly furrowed. The Thousand Stars demon-slaying sword in front of him finished exerting the power of the sword array, swallowing the demon-slaying sword chi, and drew an arc in the air. This fairy sword struck again. This time the opponent it aimed at was the two-eyed black eagle not far away. At the last moment, Li Xinyuan's distraction gave the double-eyed black eagle some time to breathe. At this moment, the eagle cry was heard, commanding the monster beasts to scatter in all directions. Avoid encountering the large-scale attack of the sword array again. However, as soon as it gave the order, it was targeted by Chen Qingyun, who urged the flying sword to be sent straight towards it. The black light flowed on the wings of the double-eyed black eagle, and it immediately flapped its wings, bursting out with huge lift. It dodged the attack of the flying sword extremely quickly, shaking off a few black feathers. Immediately afterwards, Chen Qingyun only saw the pair of pupils in its eagle eyes that were particularly eye-catching. 4 black demonic lights suddenly shot out and came straight towards it. With a few clanging sounds, the red-scale flying shield was hit, the light dimmed a bit, and bursts of black light exploded. If such attacks were repeated a few more times, even the powerful defense of the red-scale flying shield would not be able to withstand it. While Chen Qingyun was resisting, before the opponent could fly far, the Zhuxiantu flying knife was already gathering momentum in the sea. Accompanied by a whoosh. Between the sky and the earth, faint water splashed into the sky, and the next moment the painful roar of the double-eyed black eagle sounded. The Zhuxiantu flying knife cut off one of its wings, causing it to immediately lose its ability to fly and fall into the sea. Li Xinyuan looked happy and was about to activate the red flame flying sword to cut off Hu. At this time, the Thousand-Star demon-slaying sword was already one step ahead, and with its bright sword light, it penetrated the body of the double-eyed black eagle. After beheading the leading monster, before the opponent's body fell into the sea, Chen Qingyun activated the Qingguang gourd and took it in. Fellow Taoist Chen. Seeing Chen Qingyun show off his skills and kill several second-level monsters, Li Xinyuan was so impressed that he no longer dared to call Chen Qingyun his little friend. He wanted to cut off Hu from Chen Qingyun's hands and kill the double-eyed black eagle, but obviously he couldn't do it, and he felt bitter in his heart. It's good to be strong. Qingyang, that bastard, looked down on others before, and was acting strangely. After this battle is over, we have to see what he will think of Chen Qingyun. As the leading demonic beast was killed, the beasts suddenly lost their leadership and scattered in all directions. Outflank them! A loud shout rang out, and Chen Xianming used the fiery sky sword to split open a second evil monster with one strike. Chen Daoren and others understood, and immediately took action to drive away the scattered groups of monsters and drive them together. Li Xinyuan, Yu Heqing, and even Qin Xiang, the three foundation builders, have seen Chen Xianming's powerful strength and responded to the call one after another. Chen Qingyun held the Qiankun gourd, rolled up the corpses of many monsters floating in the sea, and put them into the gourd. Then when the sleeves and robes were waved, more than 10 magic weapons flew out. Green flame sword, golden spear, a child mother blade, demonic crystal flying blade, phantom sword, golden crow ring, etc. Under the control of powerful spiritual thoughts, these magic weapons each showed their sharpness, crisscrossing the heaven and earth, and killing the surrounding monsters. If there weren't other tribesmen here to kill monsters and obtain military exploits, he would be more than just a master of these magic weapons. The 5 elements, Lu, 7 stars, and Baoang have long been thrown into the sea, and they have launched water spells to harvest these monsters. There are only more than 800 monsters left. Under the encirclement and suppression by Chen Qingyun and other 400 monks, in the end, all these monster beasts were killed in less than a stick of incense. Occasionally, a few fish escape and slip through the net, which is normal. After all, monsters have blood and are afraid of death. They can't have no brains at all. They will naturally run away if they know they can't defeat them. In this way, the Chen family's team's first battle ended with victory in the first battle. After everyone cleared the battlefield and returned as a team, a lot of eyes were focused on Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming. Many people realized that if these two people were not involved this time, it would not be easy to wipe out this group of monsters. The thunderous moray eel, blue water snake, and double-eyed black eagle are enough for them to fight a protracted battle. If it doesn't work well, a few foundation building monks will have to be damaged. But now, 3 casual cultivators have died, which is unavoidable on the battlefield. There are some casualties, but within an acceptable range. In the early stage, Chen Qingyun killed a large number of monsters and killed the 2-eyed black eagle with his sword. The subsequent fight was like torturing a vegetable. Pure battle achievements. It's simply not too fun. When Qin Xiang looked at Chen Qingyun, he lowered his head from time to time, or smiled apologetically, smiling bitterly without any airs at all. Chen Qingyun convinces the public with his strength, and if he targets him more, it will only be of no benefit to himself. If you can win over, win over. If you can't win over someone, at least stop jumping around in front of the other person to offend them. There are more than 800 monsters and more than 400 people. Whoever is stronger and faster will kill more. After a duel of this magnitude, the Chen family's team realized that having a team of 500 people stationed on Hunyuan Island was quite a lot of people. Even if a group of tens of thousands of monster beasts comes, if all 500 of them are dispatched, each of them can only kill 20 monster beasts, right? There aren't many combat points that can be obtained. It's really like what Li Yushu said. The first mission assigned to them by the Star Sect was not so much to reinforce Red Fang Island. It's better to say that it's really just a formality, to get used to it first. The highlight is still behind. There will be plenty of opportunities for them to fight and gain more military merits later. The geographical location of Hunyuan Island itself is not on the front line. The front line war zone has already cleared and encircled the monster group in advance. Those powerful monsters have been eliminated. Those who can come to Hunyuan Island can be said to be some fish that escaped from the front line war zone. It's just right for Chen Qingyun and others to brush up their experience. There is a clear division of labor. You kill your monsters and we clean up some fish that escaped. Everyone participates in it and does what they can. In fact, as the war continues, The scale of the monster tide on the front line is getting bigger and bigger. The number of monsters that will come to Hongya Island and even the surrounding islands will gradually increase. They will continue to experience some tests. Whether the garrison is difficult or not depends on the combat effectiveness of the front line. In short, they are clearing the monster group for the second time on the basis of clearing the monster group on the front line. Occasionally, there would be a few small beasts. If they were not strong, they would be exiled to Hongya Island to earn some military merit. Some people eat meat, and some soup will be shared with others. Hongya Island has two peak foundation building cultivators, Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianming, stationed here. As long as it is not a third-level monster, it is not a big problem to break the defense. Chen Qingyun's combat power alone is at least equivalent to 5 peak foundation building cultivators. Everyone has gained something. After returning to Hanya Island, the next task will be much easier. Chapter 248 The Biggest Winner. After winning the first battle. Just stay on the island for the next few days. Just wait for new enemy information to be reported. Take the initiative to clean up or defend on the spot. After experiencing this battle, Qin Xiang, Li Xinyuan and others' attitudes towards the Chen family's team have changed greatly. It has been subconsciously agreed that subsequent developments will follow the wishes of Chen Xianming and Chen Qingyun. There is no way, who makes people strong. In the subsequent fight against the tide of monsters, we will have to rely more on these two. Who can afford to offend after being full. In the past 2 days, everyone took advantage of their free time and began to register their battle merit points. It is not a problem to hoard many demon pills in your hands, but you are also worried about being plotted and robbed. After registering your military achievements, you will obviously feel more secure and at ease. It is also practical to exchange them into resources and use them on yourself. A war merit exchange institution was set up on Hongya Island, called the War Merits Workshop. There are Star Sect monks on duty inside. While registering military achievements, you can also redeem some cultivation resources on the spot. Of course, treasures such as the Foundation Establishment Pill and the Purple Mansion Crystal are not yet available in the War Effort Workshop on Hongya Island. But providing second-level magic weapons, elixirs, talismans, etc., these resources are still available. It is worth mentioning that all registered demon pills will have Star Sect's unique marks. Although the same demon pill cannot be registered repeatedly, there are advantages. If you are not willing to sell or give away the demon pill, Xingzong will not take it. That is to say, after you register with a first-level demon elixir, you can not only get 10 points of combat merit. Moreover, after that, the demon pill is still yours and is at your disposal. If you are short of money, you can sell it to Xingzong on the spot. The Star Sect established a battle merit system in order to allow everyone to actively cooperate in fighting against the Xinghai demon tide. Try not to exploit everyone's interests. If you kill your monster, both the battle merit and the monster elixir will be yours, which is a win-win situation for you. For Xingzong, it is also beneficial to me if you obey my orders and fight for me against the monsters coming from all directions. The main thing is a win-win situation. Chen Qingyun and others registered separately, and a total of 3 Star Sect monks were on duty here. At the beginning, Chen Daoran and Li Xinyuan were registered as more than a dozen foundation builders one after another, and each received about 200 to 300 points of combat merit. Chen Xianming, who had slightly more points, gained 430 points. While waiting for Chen Qingyun to register, a large amount of demon pills poured out and piled up in the wooden box. Not only Qin Xiang and others were attracted, but even the 3 Star Sect monks looked surprised and looked at each other. Which faction does my friend belong to? Among them, the old man named Sun Xingzong asked. There are so many demon pills, at least 100. Among which there are 5 or 6 second-level demon pills. I have been stationed on Hongya Island for more than a year, and this is the first time I have seen a young monk take out so many demon pills at once. Besides, Chen Qingyun is still unfamiliar. Apparently I just came here not long ago and it was my first time to register. I am a monk from the Chen family on Linjian Island. Well, the Chen family on Linjian Island. At such a young age, You are already at the peak of foundation building, and the opening of the Purple Mansion is just around the corner. It's really a formidable future. The Xingzong monk surnamed Sun smiled and showed admiration. His current cultivation level is not as good as Chen Qingyun's. He is in the middle stage of foundation building, and he is already over 100 years old. Seeing that Chen Qingyun has achieved such achievements at such an age, how can one not feel emotional? After a brief chat and telling Chen Qingyun to practice well, Sun Sihai began to help Chen Qingyun count and register. In the end, a total of 1950 combat points were obtained. The harvest brought by this first battle is not small. 1950 combat points, that's a lot. Qingyun, you can do it. Chen Qingyun showed envy. The combat merit she obtained this time was only 100 points. How could this be compared to Chen Qingyun? Everyone in the Chen family had no exchange resources for the time being, so they left the Zhongfang together with smiles on their faces. Ha ha ha, we won the first battle this time, and the total military merit gained is close to 4,000 points. This is not far from redeeming a foundation establishment pill. Chen Qingfeng laughed and felt extremely happy. I originally thought that their team of 100 people would be stationed on Hunyuan Island for 3 months, which would be very difficult during this period. Unexpectedly, I gained a lot from the first battle, and I was already looking forward to clearing out the subsequent groups of monsters. Although the foundation establishment pill is good, you also need to obtain your own resources, and you can't just use your military exploits just for a foundation establishment pill. Chen Xianmin said seriously, telling everyone that if they needed any resources, they could exchange them themselves first. It wouldn't be too difficult for the 9 members of this family to exchange their military exploits for 1 or 2 foundation establishment pills. Judging from the situation in the first battle, the number of monster beasts that will follow can only be many, and the fight has just begun. After returning to their residence, Chen Qingyun and Chen Xianmin greeted each other and went into seclusion alone. On Hongya Island, more than 100 retreat rooms have been established. Chen Qingyun casually entered the room, ready to start digesting this harvest. As for monsters, 6 second-level monsters were killed. There are 135 first-level monsters. There are 141 demon pills in total. According to the progress of the Great Wilderness Demon Swallowing Technique, even the demon pill and the flesh of the demon beast can be swallowed up. If you want to break through to the Xifu stage, there is still a long way to go. But fly legs are also meat. In the next 3 days, Chen Qingyun continued to swallow demon pills, and his true essence was strengthened. According to his appetite, he could digest about 100 kilograms of demon beast meat every day. This was still done by constantly running the skills to assist digestion. Which cultivator could eat 100 kilograms of meat a day? He would die of suffocation. Only Chen Qingyun had the skills to digest it. Time flew fast on Hanya Island. More than 10 days passed. During this period, 2 groups of level 4 beasts appeared, with a number of about 560. Chen Xianmin led a team of 100 people and easily eliminated them. Most of the time, they were resting on the island, or wandering around the sea by themselves, killing some lone demon beasts. Most of them were engaged in field battles, and they would rush to wherever there were demon beasts. It has to be said the demon beasts running out from the front line are really endless. Every 3 to 5 days, 1 or 200 will emerge. So, in order to grasp the dynamics of these demon beasts in time, Chen Xianmin created 3 teams, including himself, and each team had 3 Chen family monks. Then, led by 2 foundation building monks, they spread out to the southern area of Hongya Island and went to investigate. If they encountered dozens of monsters, they would kill them all if they could be solved on the spot. If there were too many, they would gather people and jointly eliminate them. Chen Qingyun was also in the team to get kills. He teamed up with Chen Qingyun and Chen Daoren, and each of them cleared dozens of monsters. Not only that. In order to obtain more effective military exploits, Chen Qingyun secretly ordered the 5 elements, 6 combinations, 7 stars, and 8 wastelands to go out and launch wild operations in the surrounding areas. What he wanted was to make the best use of everything and get more military exploits. Chapter 249 Supporting the Front Line. This is how it works. During this period, Chen Qingyun's newly acquired demon pills gradually reached 122. It can be said to be the biggest winner. Anyway, these are all done on the basis of fulfilling the mission of garrisoning Hunyuan Island and not violating discipline. It does not conflict with the mission, and everyone likes to do it. When the garrison mission is over, each person will also receive a mission reward of 500 combat merits. It makes me happy just thinking about it. As the mission time progresses. Gradually, the Chen family team learned a lot about the terrain of the surrounding sea areas and the numerous monster races. More than a month passed like this. When the total combat merit accumulated by the Chen family team reaches 9,000. On this day, a new battle report came. This time it was urgent news, reaching Chen Xianmin directly. According to the battle report, an island called Kizu Island on the other side of the Black Dragon Sea, more than 60,000 miles away from them, was being besieged by a large number of monsters. The scale of the beast tide reached level 2. Since Hunyuan Island is the closest to Kizu Island, the Lingbao Shan and Xingzong monks stationed there hope that Hunyuan Island can send manpower to provide support. Seeing that the mission period is coming to a successful end. Follow the rules. After completing this task, they can return to Hunyuan Island to rest for a month and recuperate. At present, there is urgent news that there is a big battle to be fought. For a moment, Chen Xianmin hesitated. He immediately called back the team outside and called everyone together to talk about the incident. Zhu Guangshu frowned deeply when he learned that the Black Dragon Sea area needed support and that there were 2 second-level beast tides. The Black Flood Dragon Sea is located at the first front-line fortress, right at the tip of the knife. Are we going to lick the blood from the tip of the knife to support them? 2 levels of beast tides. This is not easy to deal with. According to the star sex classification of the scale of the beast tide, it is divided into 4 levels from low to high. The number of monster beasts within 1,000 is defined as a level 4 beast tide. Usually appears in the outer star sea area and around the second front. This scale is achieved after the monks on the front line weaken and clean up the beast tide, and then reach this level, and then the monks on the second line of defense eliminate it. 1,000 to 5,000 beasts are the third level beast tide, which is the most common and the most numerous in battles. More than 5,000, this is a second level beast tide. There is usually a Zaifu monster leading here, which is the most common group of monsters on the first front line. As for the number of more than 10,000, it is a first level beast tide, led by at least 1 4th level monster. A level 1 beast tide is very rare. Once it appears, it will be accompanied by the outbreak of large-scale battles. Just say that the frontline fortress on Kizu Island was originally guarded by giant and monks. The reason is that there are only 2 Zaifu monks in charge recently. It was because a few days ago, a rare first-level beast wave broke out on Heiazu Island, 100,000 miles away. The giant and monks stationed there led an elite team and rushed to Heiazu Island for support as soon as possible. They have not returned yet and cannot get away. Otherwise, how could the emergence of this second-level beast tide prevent them from asking for help from Red Fang Island? Liu Heqing looked solemn and hesitated in his heart. Yes, the 2 second-level beast tides total at least tens of thousands of monsters. According to our strength, we are no match for all of them. The Kizu Island is not as good as this Hongya Island. There are often third-level monsters coming out. If we are unlucky and encounter 1 or 2 of these, how can we resist them? Both of their concerns came to the point. If you go to support, you may encounter a third-level monster. According to the strength of their team, they can't be beaten, and Chun will lose their lives. But if you don't go to support, you're just ignoring death. Later, if they are unlucky and encounter a group of monsters that are difficult to fight against. If you ask for help at this time, others will not pay attention to you, and if you don't say anything, then you are a fool. No matter how powerful this star sect is, there are only tens of thousands of monks, and there is no way to cover the entire Star Sea with its combat power. There will always be problems with insufficient combat power in certain areas. At this time, teams will be needed to reinforce. This is what Kizu Island is like now. If they don't rescue her and wait for a team from further away to come to support her, they might even have cold day lilies by the time they arrive. To go or not to go, that is a question. It depends on everyone's choice. After a moment of silence, Chen Xianmin said seriously. According to the battle report, the fellow Taoists on Kizu Island encountered 2 second-level beast tides coming from different directions, and the fighting broke out in different places. Because we were fighting 2 beast tides at the same time, our strength was dispersed, and there were signs that another beast tide was coming. The island was in danger of being conquered, so we sent out a request for help. There are 3 Zaifu monks over there. If we encounter a third-order monster, they will naturally not let us die. According to what they mean, they want us to help clean up a large number of first- and second-order monsters. If we encounter a third-order monster, we will find a way to avoid it. With that said, Chen Xianmin passed the urgent message to Zhu Guangshu, Li Xinyuan and other foundation builders to watch. After several people read it, Li Xinyuan nodded slowly. It seems that it is not impossible to provide some support. You can go. Zhu Guangshu nodded and said, if we really encounter a third-level monster, we should stay away from it, or even turn around and run away. There is nothing to be ashamed of. Haha, that's right. I agree. We won't be cowardly and ignore the requests for help from fellow Taoists on the front lines. This is something my Yu family will never do. Fellow Taoist Chen, what do you mean? Several people looked at Chen Xianmin. Chen Xianmin pondered for a while, then turned to look at Chen Qingyun, who had never spoken, looking for ideas. Chen Qingyun still didn't speak, just nodded. Okay, without further ado, let's set off now. Seeing this situation, Chen Xianmin gained some confidence and began to allocate manpower. In the presence. The Chen family and the Zhu family are both foundation-building families. It is unlikely that there are talismans in the family, or treasures that can kill third-level monsters. I won't talk about Chen Qingyun's case for now. But Lin Baoshan has a solid foundation. Don't listen to Qin Ziyang's words. It's difficult to fight third-level monsters. If you see them, you have to run far away. Whoever is brave will go for them. It can be said that as a foundation-building monk, he has been practicing in Lingbao Mountain for decades. There are only a few trump cards in hand that can deal with level 3 monsters, and not many people in the field will believe it. Just don't mention this matter, as long as everyone knows it. The Yu family's background is not bad. The Zaifu family, in order to ensure the safety of its people, may have equipped some magical treasures. This is very likely. After all, if the Chen family had treasures of this level, they would have brought them out and carried them on their bodies, so naturally they cannot be left to eat ashes in the family. Li Xinyuan's group of casual cultivators are really poor and don't have much to treasure. I didn't want to mess it up, so I just helped. It would be great if you can pick things up and earn some military merit. After a quick discussion, the matter was settled. After a while. 5 foundation builders and 200 qi refining monks were left in Lingbao Mountain to garrison. The rest of the men quickly formed a team and followed Chen Xianmin on the warship towards Kizu Island. Chapter 250, Phantom Octopus. The warships provided by Xingzong are at the lowest level of the 2nd tier, and their greatest features are durability, strong defense, large capacity, and fast speed. At full speed, they can travel 50,000 miles a day. In about a day, everyone entered the Black Flood Dragon Sea and reached the territory of Kizu Island. After a few months, Chen Qingyun came to this sea area again, and he remembered the various experiences of treasure hunting with Sun Tai and others. I just felt that the past situation was still in front of me. I wonder if Sun Tai and Ling Zai will meet them here again, and what will the scene be like then? Will they join forces to fight the enemy, or will they fight each other? When this idea came to his mind, It was not the time to sigh and reminisce. Chen Qingyun expanded his spiritual sense to explore the number of monsters here. These monsters gathered in the eastern waters of Kizu Island. There are quite a few of them. According to preliminary calculations, there are at least more than 10,000 of them, reaching the scale of a first-level beast tide. Is this a first-level beast tide? Is there a fourth-level monster leading it? Faced with such a large number of beasts, Chen Qingyun subconsciously checked again to see if there were any fourth-level monsters. If this was really a first-level beast tide, they would be sent to help and would be completely defeated. Soon, he found something wrong. Because in this batch of beasts, the only monsters that his divine sense could detect were first and second-level monsters. Not to mention fourth-level monsters. Not even the shadow of third-level monsters was seen. There are only two reasons for this situation. First, the third-level and above monsters have been cleared out. Second, this should be composed of 2 or 3 groups of monsters. In the previous communication, the Xingzong cultivators here mentioned that when Kizu Island was attacked by 2 second-level beast tides, they also found signs of a new beast tide. They were worried about the attack of multiple beast tides and lack of manpower, so they sent out a call for help. Now, the situation in front of us is more inclined to the second situation. There is more than one group of monsters here. When Chen Qingyun and his companions were flying to the battle scene ahead. On the distant coastline, a huge phantom octopus was waving its 8 huge tentacles, turning the sea upside down. Its body was particularly huge, and it looked at least 1,000 feet in size from a distance. Dozens of black dots moved around the phantom octopus, emitting stars of light from time to time. A closer look revealed that it was a group of cultivators controlling magic tools to encircle and suppress this huge sea monster. However, looking at those attacks, they were like raindrops hitting the opponent, and did not have much effect. It was like dozens of ants besieging a spider, and they could not kill the opponent in a short time. Phantom octopus, a peak second-level monster. Qin Ziyang stood in the front row, looking at it, and quickly recognized the origin of the monster, and a strong fear emerged in his heart. The phantom octopus is particularly rare in the Star Sea. Not only are they huge in size, but they also have thick skin and flesh. The magical spots on the surface of the body can release terrible toxins that can even corrode magic tools. It's not easy to deal with. Li Zinyuan hadn't finished speaking yet. In the distance, a large amount of green poisonous fog was seen emerging from the phantom octopus, spreading out waves of mist. This made the monks gathered around it quickly avoid it and dared not get involved. Chen Qingyun stared and could clearly see that around the phantom octopus, more than a dozen demon birds that had no time to avoid fell into the sea after being exposed to the poisonous fog. It can be seen that the toxins are powerful. Immediately afterwards, a silver light appeared and floated above the head of the phantom octopus. Some monks used powerful magic weapons to exert huge power to trap the monster and prevent the poisonous fog from spreading. At the critical moment, the Xingzong Foundation building cultivator took action and activated the Pure Yang Pearl to temporarily trap the illusion spot octopus. A large amount of turbulent sea water and poisonous fog were thus sealed in this magic weapon, and the surrounding sea surface became slightly calmer. The waves of poisonous fog were temporarily sealed, causing the Pure Yang Pearl to appear green. This kind of poisonous fog would not affect the illusion spot octopus at all. It waved its tentacles and slapped the light barrier frantically, trying to break the confinement. Not to mention, relying on its huge size, it swung its tentacles suddenly and hit the impact of tens of thousands of pounds of force. The defense of the Pure Yang Pearl was really not enough to resist. It was immediately slapped with a rumble and buzzing sound, and the light dimmed a little, and it looked like it was about to break apart. But how could the surrounding cultivators let it move so wantonly? A Xingzong cultivator moved in the air, quickly making hand gestures, chanting something, and condensing a huge Dao pattern behind him, like a small sun. As the energy in the Dao pattern gathered, the breath was violent and slowly turned. A golden sword emerged from it, with a dazzling divine light. After that, a huge sword body and hilt, cold and sharp, condensed from the magic pattern. At a glance, this golden giant sword reached a size of several dozen feet, hanging above the cultivator's head, looking extremely dazzling. Boom. The confinement light curtain of the pure Yang Pearl was broken through and shattered like glass. In the rolling poisonous fog, the phantom octopus roared and roared, completely enraged, and wanted to swallow all the surrounding cultivators into its stomach. But before it could take action, the poisonous fog that blocked its vision dissipated. At the moment when the pure sunlight curtain collapsed, the power of the golden giant sword began to take shape, and as the star-sect cultivator made a hand gesture, it suddenly stabbed out. The phantom octopus had just waved away the sight covered by the poisonous fog, and saw the sword light breaking through the air. The golden giant sword stabbed at it, and because it had no time to dodge, it simply swung its tentacles to resist. However, its tentacles were soft and huge, and it could not resist at all, and was immediately pierced and cut off. The golden giant sword was extremely sharp, and its power reached the late stage of foundation building. It was a more common giant sword technique. This kind of magic is known for its strong attack power. The phantom octopus was pierced through the head by the golden giant sword, and golden light spread in its body, and it was shredded by the sword energy. It was still very fierce, waving its tentacles to turn the rivers and seas upside down, roaring in anger, trying to escape. But soon, its vitality was rapidly fading, and it fell into the sea under several attacks from the surroundings, and was completely killed. Chen Qingyun and others in the distance saw this situation, and they only felt that the battle here was particularly fierce, and they did not feel that their morale was greatly increased because they saw the phantom octopus being surrounded and killed. Because there were too many monsters as far as the eye could see. The coastline in front of the site was filled with monsters. Hundreds of cultivators fought with monsters in the air or in the sea. So they did not act rashly. When they saw the Xingzong warship approaching here, a Xingzong cultivator turned into a stream of light and flew directly in front of Chen Qingyun and others. I am Zhuxiantu, a disciple of Xingzong. Are you fellow Taoists coming to support from Hunyuan? Zhuxiantu said straight to the point, with a solemn look on his face. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.